because we're going to cross down there now. And I'll catch you at half-time.
I got my scarf, got my old coat. I got a footy game to go to. Footy's on, footy's here again. Back to greet me like an old friend. And, well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. Oh.
94.7 The Pulse. Across Geelong, the Surf Coast and Bellarine Peninsula. Welcome to the match of the day. Broadcast on the Pulse. Now, here to bring all the action to your radio, our team on 94.7 The Pulse.
Good afternoon, listeners and viewers. Welcome to the West Oval this afternoon. A magnificent day for football. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen this ground in any better condition. Even the centre square looks like it actually land on it and not come up with any bark missing grub. So it's going to be hopefully a good game of football. And we're looking forward to seeing what Geelong West can provide after last week. Only just going down narrowly to the Thompson Tigers, and Winchelsea having their first win under new coach Brett Maloney, and he'd be pretty happy with what he did over at Inverleigh. So before we get into some of these games, just welcome to our broadcast for the first time this afternoon. We've got young Archie taking over this afternoon. Looks like he's going to be with us for the rest of the season, we hope, and as long as he doesn't outdo us, Grab, we might let him stay.
That won't be hard.
So welcome, Arch.
Appreciate it, mate. Pleasure to be here. Really excited for a good game of footy today. Can't get any better weather, and I think we should soak it up as well, because we're getting into those winter months and we're going to have some cold days.
Yeah, I suppose it's going to be good for us sitting here in the box, but I know the players out there won't have the same opinion, I wouldn't have thought. But Grub got off to a good start last week, the round of football. Every game last week, obviously, but one blowout. Probably what do we think will happen here this afternoon?
Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, we are absolutely blessed, aren't we? Last week we got down to the Shell Oval, all in one oval, I should say, and the ground was magnificent, the weather was beautiful, and you just wondered, how long can this continue? Well, it's continued on for another week because the ground, as you said, is equal as the one last week. It is in perfect condition. The weather's beautiful. We had an absolutely magnificent game last week with two sides that played their heart out, and I've just got a funny feeling we might have another one of those here today.
Yeah, as I said, the weather conditions, as I said, the heat will obviously affect players. And we saw that last week at Corio with a few of the Corio boys coming up with cramp late in the game, and obviously a few of the Anarchy boys towards the end also were starting to feel what it was like to play their first real game of football for the summer, for the winter, I suppose. But it was warm out there last week, and I tell you what, it's going to be a lot hotter here this afternoon. The results last week, as I said, we saw some very close games, which I think for the first time would be probably near a record for the league. As I said, there were some really good games that went head-to-head, and the only blowout, to be honest, was the Bellpost Hill game against North Geelong, and that, to me, was a bit of a surprise with some of the old boys back at Bellpost Hill, and I suppose Peter Riccardi was pretty buoyant about what he thought about where North Geelong could go during this season, and I spoke to him during the week. So he's done it once. He now has obviously had a big task out there again today, playing it against Inverleigh, but we'll obviously go through North Geelong. We didn't give them much time last week, Grub. They were pretty good out there. As I said, Inverleigh had made a few changes with their playing personnel, and maybe just coming together, they'll need to show. I think that someone said last week, I heard they had 4 of their premiership side in their side last week, so there's a massive change in a short turnaround.
Yeah, well, that's right, and we will probably have a better look, because I don't think we did get to North last week.
No, not at all. No,
there's a couple of sides, maybe West as well, or one of the sides of Winch as well. But yeah, look, North Geelong, they've got a few good kids coming in. Benny O'Brien, he's a centre half back from Lara. Jasper George, there's no doubt that he's Georgie the coach's the son, I believe, and he's a half forward wingman. I think he might have played at Bell Park. I haven't got it written down. I think he was Bell Park. Jordan Purcell from North Shore. Terry Tezeros, which will test you when we finally get him. He's a small forward from Polar Bay. We know BJ's gone now. I think he played in the twos last week. And that just shows, because a player of his class and his ability would sometimes walk into one of these sides and play first, but he has to earn his spot because they've improved so much. Mark Paranov's back. Sam Manny from Lara. Jamie Haber from Watsonia. Josh Widdowson, who we spoke about last week. Tommy Davis. Charlie Farrell, who could be returning long term. So I might go through when we do the games, but I think there's a couple in there first up recruits were in their best side. But I think the major change comes from the culture. Now, Peter Riccardi's already proved himself as a coach in the Geelong District Footy League. He's won a premiership and then headed to North Geelong. And I reckon they had problems last year. They had players who were probably not turning up at training as much as they should have. A couple got on the block a couple of times. And instead of, giving a hard word, he dropped them. He didn't play it. And all these blokes now, they must think, well, hang on. If we're going to play in this side, if they're going to be any better, we've got to do the right thing. And they've had a great pre-season. They've really looked at making sure that everybody gets out as a team, and that's due to Peter Riccardi. Basically, his motive is, if you don't want to do the right things, nick off. I'll find somebody who will. And I reckon that's going to help them right through. They could be the smoky for the year, North, and I'm probably copying Jason Stock this morning a little bit. I heard him say that on hashtag, but I also felt that myself, even going into the season. So, yeah, look, I think they're going to be the big improvers. They only missed out by percentage, I think, last year. We watched that game, didn't we?
Yeah, it came down to a goal here or there.
One kick, one straight kick. And I think they can go one better. But for that to happen, somebody in that last year's top five's got to come out. So, obviously, who knows? It might not happen. There might be 3 or 4 with these two sides today might improve. We just don't know yet. But as I say, at the moment, looking at North Geelong, I know they'll improve.
I think you're right. Young BJ O'Toole was in work the other day, and it's probably the best condition I think I've seen him in for some time now. I think Billy Nichols is doing a bit of work with him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mark McDowell's got something to do with it as well. But
they run the sand dunes a bit.
They do, and I think and I can imagine those two blokes would be pretty hard taskmasters. And I just mentioned that you said before, Billy's young bloke playing his first senior game out at Lara this afternoon. That? Yeah, look, and if he can come up to be anywhere near his old man, I'm sure he'd be as tough as nails.
Oh, well, his old man was a superstar at the age of 13 or 14.
Yeah, well, he's playing some good football and then and right through. So he's been around it. So we wish young bloke all the best out there this afternoon. But Arch,
before you keep going,
yep.
I actually went down to Dave Hegarty's gym a couple of weeks ago, and Billy was in the ring down there with. I meant to watch it last night. The fight was on last night. So if I wouldn't be having too much of a go at Billy, because I reckon he'd thump you. He's looked big, he looks fit, and he's a terrific bloke. And I went down and had a look at him. It was fantastic watching that.
Yeah, did good. Archie, you were here last week, you said, and you had a look at Thompson. Yeah, again, you reckon West obviously must have shown some improvement because they had him on the ropes, you said, but they were lucky to get away with it.
100%, Dale. I think the big testament to last week and the big difference last week compared to this week is the weather conditions. There's barely a breeze in the sky, to be fair. So, this week the game's going to be played in a completely different manner. The ball last week was stuck on this near side for the majority of the game, and it was the team that could control the corridor and get the ball on the far side, use the run, who ended up getting on top. Thompson ended up running away with it, 3 goals or so, but maybe 4 goals. But West did show a lot of improvement from last year, and I think they're not a team that just going to get run over like they were a little bit last year. I think a lot of spectators thought that West might be down the at bottom end of the ladder this year, but I don't think they're going to be a team, and I don't think anyone in this competition is a team who's going to roll over. Even Corio, I think they're going to be a hard team to beat at times. So.
Yeah, West lost Ian Ellie and Hutchison, and obviously there was a fair bit of experience in those two blokes. Only, I suppose, really couldn't consider them to be old blokes, but just got to a stage where they felt that their time was up. What other changes have they made at West this year? I know Alex Blair came back, and I reckon he's probably as good a footballer we've seen over the last couple of years for West going around, so he'd be a really handy acquisition to their side.
And he will, and he's got a bit of experience to him. And as you said, Hutchie and Ian Ellie are gone.
Yep.
Jin's gone.
Yep.
Reece
Van
Jin.
Burn, yep.
And of course Josh Finey as well.
To Wimberley.
Yeah, so there's a bit of experience gone there. But Alex Blair, as you said, is back, and I've got a funny feeling Ted Wallace might be back as well.
Actually, I did see his
name
mentioned
somewhere. Today.
No.
But he'll bring a little bit of experience as well. And Jai Bohm. B-O-H-M Bohm.
Yep.
He's been a pretty good player too. So, yes, they've lost some good players, but they've looked like they've brought in some good experienced players. Jared Blakely, I can't read your own writing. Alex Buckwell from Apollo Bay.
Yep.
Sam Caruso from Torquay. Jackson Collins.
Now, I think he's from the GFL list. And evidently, from all reports, he can play, but he's not playing today.
Laid out today.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I wanted to watch it. They gave him best on the ground last week. I think he's a centre-half back.
Yeah, I think so. I
really wanted to see him play. Joel Coombs, Harvey Harvey Murnane or Manan. I've got to start writing better.
You better start writing before you get to the.
No, what I write as I'm driving down here.
Oh,
I
on the dash.
I actually last week I got to put it all out properly so I could read it, but there was a couple of teams on the other page I missed. That was one of them. But look, they will definitely be better. I just question a little bit of their effort last year at times. Yep. The day we came here against East, and I know they don't like to hear this, but they played that game pretty much from start to finish in a defensive manner so they wouldn't get flogged, rather than have a real go at it first. You're better off having you go, playing your best and getting beaten by 12 than playing the other way and getting beaten by 7 without giving yourself a chance. And I reckon they probably learnt their lesson. Get in and have a go. They obviously did that last week. They took it up to the reigning premiers, and they'll take it up to Winchelsea today too. And look, if they improve, if everybody improves, it's going to be tight. The finals are going to be tight right till the end, I think.
Yeah, well, last week, as we said, we watched the game out there, and that last quarter went, I think, 35 minutes for Coria to kick the last 2 goals to get over the top of Anarchy.
And they got rid of Westy years ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the story was there, but obviously, as I said, when you look through and just see the results, and just it's probably, as I said, I've never been an advocate for this point system because I didn't think it would ever even the competition up. I still think there is a little bit of difference between the top sides and bottom sides, but it may be taking some sort of effect. The only, again, I still keep going back to it, on a level playing field, you've got some sides at 48 and the other sides at 40, and I still find that, in a football sense, to be a little bit hard to fathom.
I don't.
I understand.
I think it has to be like that, otherwise they won't be able to keep up.
Well, Dale, what is your alternative if we don't have the point system? Then how else can you make it a fair competition?
Well, it's not going to change, to be honest. It'll be the same thing, especially at this level of football. You'll find that teams that have success will be able to be more attractive to players coming out of, say, the Ballerine or GFL that are finishing up. So they will always be able to attract players. Now, again, with the point system, yes, that will obviously limit them to what they can take. Yeah. But you look at the situation with Anarchy now. Like, they're playing 48, for their 48, and I'm not too sure what they'll play with it today out there this afternoon. But they're getting a lot of players coming in, and they're all 5 and 6 pointers. My concern is for them this year is that they'll bring those blokes in. How many games will they actually play? Yeah. How then does it become a problem for the players that are existing there and can't get into that side on a regular basis because these blokes will come in and out?
And then you're having your locals going to other clubs because they're not getting the opportunity because they're giving the games to players who are just coming in as 5-pointers and only playing a few games because they've got other commitments as well.
You want to see, and I think it's great that they can actually get these blokes to come and play for them. I've got nothing against that. Yeah. But I just think the long-term effect of it doesn't really help them out. So will they play enough games to get Anarchy into play finals football? Well, after last week, you'd have to say it's going to be questionable because they are not. And again, Coria were good. They've got a lot of young footballers there now, had some time in the game. And they are obviously their points. A couple of them are Bell Park juniors, which their points will start to drop. Yep. So as I said, it'll be a benefit that this will help out. It will. Yep. It will. But, this is probably the first year that I reckon, when you look at it and the results for the first week, I can actually say that it's actually worked.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, so there's got to be some changes to it. Like what you just mentioned. There was 3 or 4 blokes from Coria who came out of those under-18 sides. Now, they were 4 points.
Yep.
Now,
that's where it's wrong.
Most clubs would tend to say, well, all right, they're 4-pointers. We can't take 4 of them. So we'll go and get some, Newtown, Chilwell seconds players who were 2 points or something like that. But Coria took the bit between the teeth and said, no, we're going to put our points up and they won't be able to play every week, but we're going to give these kids a go at senior footy, right? And they did that. I think they should come in at 2 points.
Well, this is where I reckon that system is wrong. If you get a kid coming out of junior football, obviously if they're GFL level class footballers, they're going to play at a pretty high level. Mostly they're senior players, they will find it hard to get into the side. Let them go away for a couple of years and get some experience in it. But again, why penalise them to go to, say, it doesn't matter whether it's East Geelong, Bannockburn, North Geelong, wherever, and be a 4-pointer. I don't care. They're kids coming out of junior football, they're going to be playing against men. They should be 2s or 3s at most.
Yeah, but the other thing you got to realise too is they might make it. They've never had the chance to go. I can understand the blokes who have made GFL footy and come back. They've got to pay the points system for them. But these kids might end up being just decent GDFL players. They might go on, but you don't know. But you just don't know. So I would say just give them 2 points, and that means that all these kids coming down their 18s will have somewhere to go to play senior football.
Yeah,
so
and they keep them in footy.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, too, you've got to learn to read your points and recruit to your points. Right, now I'm going to get a big slap on the ear here. But Werribee Centrals last week played with 25 out of 40.
Yep.
Right, now they've got Liam Robinson to come in, who I think might be a 5. They lose a 1, say they lose a 1 point. So they're going in and say 30
at best,
of 40. Now, my idea of that is right, we can go and get another 5 and another 4. And if we do that, our side's going to be much, much better. Whereas Anarchy, 48 out of 48.
Yep.
They're all close right on it.
Yep.
I know you don't want players missing out, but at 30 out of 40, there's room to go and get someone else to make your team better.
Well, you look at the two sides here today. Winchelsea 33 of 44, and West now 37 of 46.
Yeah, so they can afford 2 more players.
Jump
I
in,
think
mate.
one of the best things about that the point system does do is that it incentivises the GDFL teams to get juniors, which is something we know a lot of the GDFL clubs struggle with. Like I'd say the majority of them don't have juniors that actually do. And I'm talking 18s, 16s, 14s.
Yeah.
So it incentivises them to get juniors, get more kids playing, and then bring them up through the grades, have them be good seniors players for a long time.
It's all well and good saying that it'll incentivise them, but it's just a lot harder than that. It's just a lot harder than that when all your kids, all your parents want to take you to St Mary's and St Joey's and all that. They don't want to go to Bellpost Hill and all those places. They want to go to GFL. And then that's where the system breaks down. Because what they do then is say, okay, well, we've got too many at St Mary's. So rather than send them back to your Bellpost Hills and your Norths or whatever, they make another side.
Yeah.
And they play in Division 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Cut that out. One side each.
Yeah, one side
and they all
each,
look, those kids, if they're good enough, they'll get back to St Mary's one day or St Joey's.
But that's what they've done in recent years, and you must admire what they've done because they've been able to get kids into the system, and they've got 50 games up.
Yeah.
And if they're any good, then they've already made marks into it.
Yes.
They haven't just recruited. You asked Ray Sarsby about this.
Yeah.
They've recruited from Bowen Heads. They've gone out. They've gone right around the whole district and brought in some of the better kids into their system to get them up to their 50 points, so they've got a cheaper way out at the end of the day.
And they're just picking from a massive pool of players. Like you look at Torquay, for example, they might have 3 under-18 teams, they might have 4 under-15 teams. They get to the end of that year when the top age 18s go up to reserves, and they're going to pick 4 or 5 players. Yeah. That's it. Everyone else has to go find a new club.
That's right. But if they haven't got a second under-18 side to do that, they've got to go somewhere else, Smithy.
Yeah, I agree.
And hopefully to a GDFL under-18 side.
Yep. Yeah, no, as I said, I wasn't for it. It is. I've seen some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, same here.
And as I said, it's good that they can do that.
But it needs a few touches.
Oh, I think so. I think so. Just for the kids' sake. That's the ones that I sort of feel sorry for when you're trying to give some kids some experience to get them into our system and hopefully keep them around for a few years. And they come out with 4s and 5s. Well, some of the clubs then are reluctant to play them because they can't get them into their side.
Well, that's right. That's why I give so much credit to Cryer for doing what
absolutely. As I said, they'll get reward from them because these kids are all there now and they've entrenched themselves in there. And again, it's just a matter of word that they can maybe now bring 1 or 2 more of their mates that may have been still at that club, and they get 2 more out of it. So it's got its benefits.
The thing I go back to there is, Corio, they want to play finals and they want to win a flag. By doing what they did last year, by bringing all these kids up, that may just put them back a year or 2. But they're prepared to accept that. They're prepared to do that hard work. And hopefully in that 2 years, I'd love to see them up there because of what they did and nothing else.
Yeah, well, they are coming from a long way back, as you know, Greg.
Yeah,
so they're not looking at making giant steps. They're just looking at putting a year ahead of each other. And obviously, I reckon last year they would have been disappointed with where they finished.
In the end, yes.
Yes, yeah, and had some opportunities. Obviously, they drew with Inverleigh, which obviously, that was a pretty big game from out there. But they definitely showed some signs last week. They've got a bit of talent there. And as I said, it's a pretty even young group that they've got out there. So there's not too many more they have to add to that side to hopefully make them steps towards final football.
Well, I talked to Darren Bennett, and yes, he was disappointed in where they finished. But from time to time during the year, he wasn't so much disappointed with their form at certain times.
Yep.
Because they progressed a fair bit. It was just the closest in the league, and they finished up where they were. But I think you'll say that they've improved this week. And what they do is when they're down, they came back like they did last week, and that was good to see.
Yeah, there was one stage there, as I said, I didn't think that was going to be possible with the way that some of their blokes were walking around the ground because there was a lot with cramp. So, as I said, I think if they had it last week, let's hope they've hydrated well today because by the end of the day, they might finish with 15 by they finished last week. But look, we'll start to go around some of the games here this afternoon. First one, obviously, East Geelong, they will take on Werribee. Obviously, East Geelong had a good win over Bannockburn. Probably the margin we thought could have been greater. Well, we may have thought it might have been greater, but Bannockburn held in there pretty nicely, and Werribee just fell short last week. Hoping they might turn things around this afternoon. Yeah, well, this is a really tough game. Werribee could easily go 0-2 here as well, but they've played probably the two of the three best sides from last year already. You know, Benny Crombie, he's been training at Geelong. And he's really, really got the fitness. That'll have to get your fitness up and help your skills. And he was probably best on the ground last week. Jude Payne, I know much about. Zach Smith, one of the greatest cricket coaches in the world. Is that right, Archie?
Yeah, he's not too bad.
Thank you very much. He must have kicked 6 or 7 last week.
Attack, 5 goals.
And I did say that with a bloke like Steele there last week, this year, him and I see Watson still didn't play, but them opportunistic players could really revel in this. But he was in there. Harris Monahan's always there. Patrick O'Brien Henderson, he must be a new bloke.
I reckon he's from the under-18s at St Mary's. Is it?
Yeah.
Is he one of them blokes?
I reckon he is.
So is he a 4-pointer? Is he?
Again, I'd have to look at it, mate. But until
St Mary's.
Yep. Just a name familiar.
Yeah. So look, they probably, as you said, they probably didn't win as much as we thought, but what do we know? East Geelong got a few new blokes in. Bannockburn, we only saw in a practice match. So it's very, very hard to gauge. You know, they might still be as good as ever and Bannockburn a little bit better. So we just don't know that yet, but it must have been a pretty good game. They were too good in the finish. And, you know, they get their win on the board. Werribee, on the other hand, I'll tell you one thing. One of the hardest things last year and this year going to be to do is to go down to the Winter Resort and win against Belmont Lions. That's going to be tough. And probably if they kick straight Werribee, they may have a chance to do it. They had 3 or 4 more scoring shots and couldn't quite get over the line. Apparently until half-time they did look in it and they had a real good go in the second half and possibly could have carried off the game. Good to see Brad Carlton being named best. I know he's had a few injuries. He's won 3 West and Ferris at Werribee Central. Nearly the first 3 years he comes straight out of 18. So we know he can play.
The sandwich? The sandwich did well.
Yeah. And with Brad, look, I hope to see him have another really, really good year. And I think his mum turned 92 the other week. So, Monty, if you're listening, happy birthday. Bryce Linehan Cunningham, as you said, he got the job on Evans last week, Ben Evans, and kept him to 1 goal, and that was late. So I think he had no goals for most of the game, which I think last year he kicked 4 and 6 or 5 against Werribee Central. So he was a real thorn in their side. Culliver, as usual. A new kid by the name of Regan Vesti. Not sure where he comes from. I think he might have been up near Swan Hill area, but used to play around here somewhere. I watched him in a practice match and thought, well, that's one of the recruits I thought were pretty good. And DeLeon and Kirk, who were pretty good too of them. Damien Williams, I thought it might have been a different bloke, but he's coming back. So I think he played 10 or 11 games.
So who wins?
At East.
Yep.
But I did look through the Werribee side, and it's nearly as good as it's going to get. Big Liam Robinson's got to come back. He's their star recruit. And if Linehan, Cunningham and Sutton can play well on tools in the back line, they'll give this chance, like he's a key position.
Yep.
They'll give him a chance to play at centre forward maybe. And boy, that might really help him out. But he's not playing. I'm going to go east at east, but I hope it's the other way around.
Arch, have you seen much of these two sides? You got a bit of an opinion on these?
A little bit. I watched quite a bit of East, and I think East, they're out for redemption, going out in straight sets the last 2 years. So I think this is going to be their year. They're going to be up there, and I think they'll get the job done. All
right, we'll move out to Footwide Flats.
You're not going to ever say that one.
Well, I think East Geelong, as I said, I think if people have asked you at the start of the season, who do you think the team to beat? Well, when a side finishes on top of the ladder 2 years running and they've gone out and added some talent to their side without losing too much, I think they're going to be one of the sides you'll be looking at early in the season. Until I see something that doesn't come to fruition, then we'll start making questions. But again, until you're about 3 or 4 rounds in, you really don't get a real idea where sides are sitting. But they to me seem to be, well, definitely favoured playing at East Geelong, and it's a good start for them to be doing it. So
yeah, and I just reckon the coach, Ned, how do you say his surname? They told us.
Osselbrook. Is it Osselbrook?
No, we were told different.
Yeah, I think it was too.
But anyway, I'll ask again. But second year in, I think he did a fantastic job last year. He played, but he brought the whole club along with him. He did a pretty job. That's a settling in here. I think his coach will get better, and that'll be a bonus for East, I can tell you that now.
Yes. Yeah. That's all right. Anarchy today take on Thompson, and we saw Anarchy last week. Pretty good. They lose, obviously, a bit of their talent out of their side this afternoon, but obviously at home they were hoping that their first venture there this afternoon will be good. What do you reckon happens out here, Arch?
Yeah, look, Thompson, first round last week, couple of new players coming to the team. It takes a while to adjust, especially when you add 5 to 6 new players in the team and learn how your teammates play. So, I reckon, this week will be another stepping stone in Thompson getting used to a few new recruits. I reckon Thompson get the job done. Although I would not rule out Anarchy because we know they're getting better and better every year. And last year they gave Thompson a good run for their money as well. So, I'm tipping Thompson though.
I think that's where they'll be buoyed by it. I think that they have been able to run with Thompson, so they'll obviously give themselves a big chance to do that. Antisev, do you know much where he's from? Or
Yep. Alex Antisev.
Yep.
He played juniors at Mary's. Came over last year, played a few games, the seniors early on. Had a breakout game against Inverleigh out there. Played really well. In and under player. Hard at the ball. Good hands. Good skills. Will run all day. They've got a few kids, Thompson, who even played last week, who just shows that exactly what we were talking about before, is that even if you don't have your own junior program, you still go and pick these kids up from GFL under 18 clubs, and bring them into your team and give them a good opportunity.
Grab, what are your thoughts? As I said, we saw Anarchy last week. They lose. I think Davey goes back to Port Melbourne, I think. And
if he gets selected, which I think he has.
Well, I think you'd think he would. And Long, he obviously goes back home as well, I think so.
Well, I thought he's playing here all the time. Jakey Mawson told me that they're available most of the year.
Okay.
Which contradicts what I'd heard beforehand, but they're both not playing. So.
Yep.
But look, for a losing side, I really liked their game last week, Anarchy. I honestly believe, and it's nothing against Corio, but I honestly believe if they had a kick straight in that second quarter, they would have won the game. But bad kicking's bad football, as we've said before. They were in it. They actually, I thought, had the game won. And then maybe they got tired late again. But to be quite honest,
27 scoring shots to 22. So Anarchy had the game on their terms and just didn't capitalise when they needed to.
Well, that was in the second quarter. They kicked straight in the last half. It was just that one quarter when they had all the play, they didn't quite do what they needed to do to put the score on the board. But as we saw, though, Dalhouse again, he's a terrific player. Bosley really come good last week, took a lot of marks. I sort of had him in my votes. You blokes didn't, but I think he's wrong.
Who's that?
Bosley.
Yeah.
Thought he was terrific.
Well, Gerard didn't even get their best players.
No, I know.
We gave him.
Yeah, well, I thought he was their best. But we know better than those blokes. Because we don't play favourites here. But Braden Riddell was good. Rideout was good. You talk about the two boys, Davey and Long. They weren't superstars on the day, but by crikey, what they did was polished. It was really, really nice. And if they get a chance to settle into that side, they will be very, very dangerous in the long run. Over at Godfrey Street, Dan Freeman, who's retired, never playing again. BOG, they tell me, coming off the half-back line, which is where I'd love to see him play, because they won't catch him, and he was best on the ground. Lucas Boyd was a good player last year. One of my favourites, Zach Plant. Let's hope he's 100%.
Planner.
Yeah, he's a lovely man, Plant, and a good footballer. The bloke you talked about, Antisev, was in it. Paul Davis is back, not the best players. He's always been a good player for him. And
come back from the Mallee League.
Yes, that's correct. And, of course, Billy Smets, I can't remember a game last year where he was actually out of the best players. Beautiful player. It's really...
He's stepped it up this season as well.
Yeah.
From all reports, he's had a full pre-season on the track. He's as fit as he's been in 3-4 years, and he's my tip for the league best and fairest.
Well, there you go. Well, that's probably a pretty good tip because you go him or Joel Bennett, and there's a couple others, Bowie Collins maybe.
Dalhouse.
Yeah, there's a couple others, and you probably can't go too far wrong. But in the end, out of Anarchy, and for the fact that bald-headed idiot Mitchell's probably listening, I'm going to go for Anarchy.
Yeah, look, as I said, I was pretty impressed with Anarchy last week. As I said, the Davey and Long, they provided just that little bit of class going around the ball. When they had the ball in the hand, they don't waste too many opportunities with it. I was also like the young kid Cox. He made a few mistakes at the end.
No, start.
At the start of the game. Yeah. But, gee, I'll tell you what, he just shows I don't know what it is, but he's just got a little bit of class about him. He just seems to have a little bit of poise. And I think Jakey Mawson's brother comes back into their side today, I think, for the first time. A cousin, is it?
Yeah.
He was supposed to come. I thought in round 3, but obviously they've, with the other players going out, they've been able to talk him into coming this afternoon. Again, look, if they can put up an effort like they have been against some of these sides last year, they did well against Thompson. They did well and played well against Inverleigh a couple of times. I think it might be an interesting game out there. I'm going to tip Thompson, but only just.
Sorry to interrupt. I did have Cox written down for the same reasons that you just said. Probably one of the things you left out was his pace.
Yes.
I really liked his pace. What I didn't like was his pace when he was chasing. You get players like that. He's got to use that pace.
One-way runner.
You've got to use that pace to be able to run blokes down. Your chasing down pace has got to be there too. He made 2 terrible blues that cost him goals, but he didn't put his head down and was running like hell towards it. I liked him, yeah.
Right, we better keep moving here because they're out in the ground. I know whether we're early or we're running late. But Inverleigh take on North Geelong. Unfortunately, Inverleigh only fell short last week from all reports. Had their opportunities to win the game of football, but North Geelong put on a pretty good performance, and they were quite easily a good winner over the Bellpost Hill.
Yeah, well, what's going on here?
Not too sure.
Well, anyway, I hope we're still going. Yeah, Inverleigh, maybe a bit disappointing. Maybe a little bit disappointing. What are you doing, Steelo?
He just got back from the toilet, I think.
Yeah, look, maybe a little bit disappointing to lose against Winch, but they've got to rebuild their side after the superstars they've lost out of their side. And they're starting to do that. And sometimes you can do that and go out and get beaten well early. Well, they only got beat by a goal. I don't know who a lot of these blokes are. Jaden Reid.
So I think from St. Joey's, I believe.
Righto. Peel played last year. Lovey's always there. Will Stoney.
Kid coming through.
Jared Bacon.
Yeah, I'm not too sure where he's from.
And Logan Haberfield played pretty well too. So, yeah, a couple of the recruits straight into the best. You like to see that. And out at North, Mark Paramount was back. I think we mentioned that last week. Jasper, we've gone through those blokes. That James Haber, he got in the best, which is good. So, yeah, and then you get your blokes like Tommy Davis, Tommy Swinness, and I've read somewhere that Cooper Vaughan's put on some weight, and proper weight, muscles and everything, and he's in for a really, really big season. He looked good to us last year. If he improves, look, even though it's out at Inverleigh, I'm going to have to go for North this early in the season after last week's form.
Your thoughts there, Arch?
Yeah, after last week with Inverleigh, I mean, they'd be a little bit disappointed, obviously. But, you know, when you go through a rebuild, it's not going to happen straight away. I think you sometimes got to bottom out in a rebuild.
Isn't that what I just said, Smithy?
Pretty close. Pretty close. He's just reaffirming what you said.
Sorry, Arch.
Exactly. So yeah, I think Inverleigh will bounce back though and get it done.
Yeah, as I said, it's hard to knock what North Geelong did last week, and as I said, when you go in with that much confidence, it's going to take a fair bit for Inverleigh to turn that around. So I'm thinking North Geelong might win again this afternoon. Bannockburn, they travel out to Corio. And as I said, Corio with another opportunity playing at home, Grubland could maybe set themselves up with a couple of early wins in the season.
Well, they gave everything last week. As we said, they were just about gone. They came back. Obviously, Joel Bennett's taken over the coaching reins, and he's got that instilled in him. Bannockburn, we saw him in a practice match, so that was only Mickey Mouse stuff. And they obviously performed pretty well against East Geelong last week without being able to take the points. At Corio, we saw our best players with Joel Bennett. They put Matty Jelenic in it. The bloke I liked was Russell Cowan, but he's 35 years old, and his second half in that heat, he did struggle, and he actually told me, he said, mate, I'm 35, but early in the game, he will be hard to stop because he's a very good player. They put Blake Ace in, Toby Bennett, and Dylan Cephire. Didn't put him in, mind Dylan, but he's a really good kid. And young Brock Savanka, he wasn't in the best players, Brock. Just done a couple of things that say, hey, they might have picked the right rein here. He's going to look all right. Out of Bannockburn, first up, Reece Ginn gets best on the ground. And second and first up, of course, Aaron Seller, who we thought was really good in that practice match. So there's two recruits, first and second. Josh Kunchka, they need him for him. He's going to be a really good player. The evergreen Connor Jervis, very rarely out of it. Tommy Bath as well. And Rob Mayborn, second or third year, he's going to be hard to stop too. I'm going to stay on the bandwagon, bugger it. I'm going to go Corio.
Arch?
I'm going Corio as well.
Yeah, look, I'll go Bannockburn because I said I think their performance last week.
Yeah, you live there.
Well, that's it. I've got to go home this afternoon, so and I won't have to go to Cryer for another 3 or 4 weeks. So they might have forgotten what I said by then. So look, I think Bannockburn can win the game of football. As I said, they've still got some pretty good base there out there.
Just on that, I know that Corio had I know a couple of assistant coaches down there. I know they had a big emphasis on rebuilding the culture this year, all about not just what they're doing on the field, but off the field as well, trying to rebuild it. I think that's a really important thing at all sporting clubs, because once you get that right and you get a group of blokes who like playing with each other, you tend to play better footy. And when you're having fun, you tend to play better footy.
They've been going through that now for 2 or 3 years now. They've really made some good marks back in that regard.
They're doing that well.
Yep, and as I said, the only thing Young Hall, last year, he played a lot through the midfield.
Yeah.
And I reckon out in the wing, I reckon he got lost. Now, I would love to see him be an inclusion through the midfield because obviously by the end of the game they were starting to feel the heat in there. He'd be a great bloke to put in there. I just hope that's an option for them.
Who do you take out? I know who I'm taking out.
Well, you can take, doesn't matter who you take out because you can just replace with those guys. Ash seems to have a bit of pace. Look, even chuck one of those blokes back on a half-back line for a while. Maybe even Hall back on a half-back line where he's just running straight at the ball. But I just felt...
we're talking about Hall, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying from my point of view is he, for me, didn't seem to play that wing position like he played through the midfield last year. He didn't seem to be able to find his feet. Well, the other one was Van Ewan. Now, I'm not too sure that he's had some time out of football and this is his first year back, but he looked a little bit rusty to me. Yep. So I would, again, he provides a massive target because he's a big man when you go and stand next to him.
Dude,
and that probably is another thing. But I reckon he'll improve as the year goes on because, as I said, there was a couple of times there the ball come down and it was like, when you're away from something for a long, long time and you try and do something again, it's just not natural to him. So I reckon he'll improve his game. But
he still showed some class. He probably kicked what was the last one?
He got two.
Yeah, one of them was probably the Kempy engineering read the play goal off the side of his boot on purpose. Running towards the boundary line. That was an unbelievable goal. But I know the bloke I'll be taking out the midfield in spurts because I reckon he played the wing position with his delivery. And that's Matty James.
Yep.
They were all over Matty James for a while and he struggled a little bit early. Tell him forget that stupid handball. You're on the wing to drive it into the forward line to Van Eunen and to Destin Burns and to all these blokes and Herschel Carr. So I agree with you. Throw Hall in the middle and just put Matty out in the wing. He can have a bit of a rest there as well.
Yeah, brace him up a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, yeah. Why not?
All right, so you're to Corio, I'm going Bannockburn. Final game before we cross to this one here this afternoon. We better keep moving. Belpost Hill and the Belmont Lions. Belpost Hill need to show some improvement from last week, Arch.
Yeah, exactly right. I think they could be in for a long year, to be honest, Dale. And obviously Belmont, they'll be hungry as ever after losing the flag last year. I'm going to go Belmont by an absolute thumping.
Yeah, look, this is a bit tough because what you've just said, it looks like on paper, right? But let me tell you.
You just don't want to cop it on, so.
Blokes like Whitney, Barton, Cozzy, Baseley, all those blokes coming back, they won't allow that to happen. They're too proud. They'll obviously be not very happy with what happened last week, and I think Ash Whitney will have a good long look at it and say, gee, we didn't expect that. Right, but whatever you do, they're the greatest side I've ever seen in the last 20 years in their dynasty, and some of these blokes played in those finals. So, yep, they had a bad one first up, but I just got this feeling they won't have bad ones like that all too often. They're just too good at players and too good at people. Their best in last week was Whitney. One of my favourites, Sammy Quinn. So he must have done the best players himself, Quinny. Dylan Godwin.
Well, he didn't play much last year, did he? He got injured or something? Yeah.
He got injured.
He looked all right the couple of games we did see him.
Yeah, his first year he really struggled.
Yep.
But his second year was good. Bannister was good. Kerins was good. And Timmy Barton as well. For Belmont, Slorak. He's a new wake. I'll have a look where he's from in a minute, but obviously he played pretty well. Benny McPherson, he's a gun player. I love Benny McPherson. James Beasley from the West Eagles, he's a new one, so 2 in there. Corey Jarrett, Billy Pelham from Bowen Heads, and David Allett, who we saw in the finals.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best players in the finals we saw.
Kept finding goals, didn't he?
Yeah, it's up at Belpost Hill. Belmont, I don't know if they were that impressive last week. And I don't think... I'll go for Belmont, but in no way am I going for a public flog. And I'm going Belpost to bounce back and maybe nearly win it.
Earn some pride back.
Maybe nearly win it.
Yeah, I think Belpost still have added that experience to the young group that they had last year. And as I said, it mightn't have been the ideal situation for Tari last year, but it's given those young kids a bit of senior football and obviously putting some experience back into them. I don't think it can do them much harm. I reckon last week they must have been just totally outplayed. There's days when you go out and play football, the things just don't work for you. So I reckon that could have been one. I'm tipping them that they will bounce back, but I think Belmont will just get over the line. I reckon there'll be only a 2-goal margin there. So it'll be very interesting to see that result as it goes on. Final game, obviously, the one we're looking at here this afternoon, Geelong West taking up against Winchelsea. West, as I said, pretty good up until probably the last 10 or 15 last week, and Winchelsea did enough to get over the top of Inverleigh out at Inverleigh. So I'll start with you again this time, Arch. You were here at them watching the game last week.
Look, the conditions were a big factor last week. It was probably a 5-goal breeze, to be fair. So if you didn't make the most of that, it really showed when Thompson did and then West did. In the end, I think it was another Paul Lynch coaching masterclass to get the ball on the far side, use the pace of the young team. They ended up out-experiencing them probably and outrunning them. But look, I love the way they played last week, West, and I think they could get this done by 13 points today.
There you go, Grub. New names in the West list.
Yeah, there is. Now, first up, that Sloric is from Bowen Heads for Belmont, so he's a pretty good player. Second up, yes, coaching masterclass. Probably the biggest thing he's done is probably kept you in the seconds at Thompson March. So he hasn't fallen for that trick. So that's pretty good. And thirdly, I've just had a text from some moron. And I won't say his name, except to say that his nickname is an arachnid. And he reckons Winch by 10 goals. You know what an arachnid is?
Yeah, spider.
Well, you said I didn't say his name.
No, I knew what you were talking about.
10 goals, he reckons. So there you go.
Good to hear from you, Spide.
Yeah, look, there is some new name. Jackson Collins.
Not playing, unfortunately.
That's the one we spoke about, wasn't it? Yeah. Matty Sondergaard was good. Tommy Richmond, Oscar Miller, James Pullen, Daniel Pollard. If I go back, I don't know if we did West much last week, did we?
No, not a lot last week.
For their new blokes. We ran out of time. So, yeah, Jared Blakely. No, we did it earlier. Alex Blair and Buckwell. We did it earlier. So, yeah, look, I don't know the names of these players. So there's not much I can say. I can sit here and make up a lot of bullshit. But I don't do that, as you know, Smithy. I speak truth. So I just don't know about them. Winch, on the other hand, last week, Lockie Gemmell, Jordan Huff, we know can play. Callum Nankervis. One of the parishes is back. Which one's back?
India.
Well, he got in the Indiana. He got in the best Berg.
Well, looks like we're ready to go, mate, so we might have to cut you off there. Sorry about that.
Well, I'll go for West. I'll go for Winch, bugger.
Yeah, no, I think I'll go with the home side here this afternoon. I'm going for West to win their first game of the season. So the ball now thrown in there and ball comes to the ground, picked up there by Parrish. And that's Finn Parrish playing in the middle, goes to his brother, goes back outside. So it was Parrish to Parrish. He's been tackled and held up. Umpire said no prior opportunity there. And it's going to be a ball up.
Well, bit of a dust up early.
Get the ball up and get it going. So the ball comes out of that contest. Ball comes outside. West now go forward into the forward line out in front. That's a nice bit of positioning in front. And the bus has been taken out there. And is that Carey, is it?
Carey, yeah.
Yep.
No more than 40 metres out here.
So he's pretty confident, obviously, distance. We'll kick from just inside the 50, if that's a true 50.
Last week you wouldn't be kicking this with the wind going the other way, but good conditions today.
So ball comes in now, or the player comes in now. It's Justin Carey, steps over 50, kicks long. got good distance and it's got good accuracy. That's very nicely done, and that's taken just less than 1 minute to put them on the board. So Geelong West with the first major. They move to one solitary goal. And they obviously lead Winchelsea who are yet to score.
Well, I reckon last year we saw Carey play a couple of miraculous games and then get injured and not play so well. But what I like about that is, we spoke about earlier, it's going to be so tight at the end of the year that straight kicking might be the difference between playing finals or not. And to get it from there, first game, a bit nervous, bang, straight through the middle. If they continue that and kick well, they're going to be hard to beat.
So we're back in the middle now. Herman also doing some ruck work this time. Ball comes out of the centre. Gain. Parrish couldn't pick the ball up. Kicked off the ground. West put the ball into their forward line. That was Frats. Couldn't take clean possession of the ball. Stitched, or he was over the top of it. The ball comes out now. Again, they've been able to run the ball into their half forward line. Blackney Noita, he picks the ball. I didn't pick the ball up, so it's been turned over. So Winchelsea with an opportunity. They get the ball out to Buckwell. Goes wide to the far side of the ground. A little bit of space out there. And now they're looking through Berg. He goes back towards centre wing. Long kick. And it's going to be turned over. Umpire said he's put the ball down. Free kick will go to the Geelong West side, and that will be Riley Croft on the far side of the ground. So Croft now with the ball. Looks that long left foot goes into their forward line. Out in front, Mark not taken. Ball at ground level. Budavalis puts his head over it. Couldn't take clean possession of it. Frats had another crack at it. No, it might have been Richmond that had to go at it, the blonde bloke. And the ball is now, there's another free kick being picked up. I'm not too sure. I didn't see what for. So the ball goes in quickly. Parrish has got back nicely to fill the hole, and that's Cassidy. He will take the mark and relieve some pressure.
Parrish now looking on the outer side. Couple of options. Go short. He's going to go a bit wide at us in front of the broadcast position here. Big contest. Off hands down. Oh, that was a great gather by Fraser. Goes inside 50, but Blues have the numbers. And they take a comfortable mark in defence. 20 out from West goal. Winchelsea have the ball. Go 70 metres out from goal now, just in front of us. Tackle there, thrown on the boot by Songerfeld. And then the ball is parried out of bounds, so he'll have a throw in 60 metres out from West goal. One straight to no score. West leading by a goal. 3 minutes 26 gone in this Buckley's Entertainment first quarter.
I reckon that was Lockie Gemmell, March.
Ball comes in now. Thrown on the boot. Big contest here. Well taken by the West defender. Can't quite see who that is at the moment.
I can't help you out at this stage.
Goes back down that line. Bit of kick to kick for you. It's a great mark. Taken by Carey. He's already got one. He's 55 out. Doesn't push back off the mark. Goes to the top of the square. It's all Blues, and it's fisted over the goal line. So the first behind of the day. 1-1-7 Geelong West to no score. Winchelsea 4 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Not a good option there. There's 4-on-1. He should have found somewhere else to go.
So Captain Huff brings the ball back inside, finds Finn Parrish now. He looks like he's got a new role, not playing off the half-back line this afternoon. Looks like he's been used more as an on-baller from the half-back line. He kicks out towards the centre wing and just short of. Contest out there. Ball comes to ground, pushed over the land by Craven, and we'll have a throw-in on the far side of the ground. Wind might have been blowing it this way last week, mate, but it would have made it easier calling if it's all over this side. I can tell you that. On the far side, even Brad Mitchell hasn't started in the forward line. Looks like he's running through a mid-through roll as well. So there's a couple of changes there, and umpire's seen a free kick. He's going to go the way of West, and it looks like pulling once again. So handballs off very quickly. The ball quickly back into their forward line. 2-on-1 contest. Ball gets out the back. Again, it looks like Carey's going to run into it. Has a chance, picks the ball up, goes out the back door. Has some support there. Got a kick through the contest was Miller. Turns it over now into the hands of Huff. He goes back into the middle and finds Grubby's favourite player and Tab Sawney. Got the coloured boots on either as well. Left and right, doesn't like the same colour boots. That wasn't a good effort by him. He's going to try and get it back again. Well, probably a little bit high there on his opponent there in Songerfeld. But he comes in and lays a tackle again. Now both players are looking to get the ball from that contest. Comes outside the contest now. Frangos goes after it. He picks the ball up. He's tackled, brought to ground. Umpire will come in this time and finally ball the ball up.
That was a good decision there. He probably got one a little bit high, but he actually ducked ahead, so the umpire called it well.
So Ruckman go at it once more, and that's Herman's going up against Pullen. Pullen makes good positioning, gets to the front of the contest, wins it and goes forward now. Geelong West to their half-forward line. Carey out in front again. Again, it's picked up in front. So Campbell came back towards Carey. Now the umpire said that was a throw. Didn't make good contact, and that was Tanner Stone that had the ball. So ball now from Brown goes into the centre wing position. Berg now has it. Quick look up, goes forward. Parrish comes out. Mark not taken, ground level. West have got some defence back there. It goes in the hands of Finn Parrish. He kicks around the body back towards the goals. He has brought it back too far and through for a minor score. So Winchelsea now they're solitary behind. They trail Geelong West on 1-1. We have gone 6 minutes 20. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, first quarter scoreboard.
Coming out of the back line now. West, they're going to try and think their way through this. They do. At 40 out now. That was Stone. Goes further down that line. Carey's been everywhere in this first quarter. 5 or 6 kicks from him already. Oh, the umpire blows the whistle for a mark. Wasn't taken though now. Handballed on. They continue here. Frats goes and finds the target. Lowered his eyes and found the Geelong West forward no more than 35 metres out from goal.
That was young Daniel Pollard involved in that too in the middle.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was well done for Frats just to lower his eyes. The player who's going to have the shot is Alex Blair to kick Geelong West's second goal of the day. And they've looked good going inside 50, haven't they?
Left footer, isn't he, I think, is he or not? I can't remember now. No.
Not by the way he's lining up.
No, he's not.
Coming now, no more than 35 metres. Not much of a breeze. Looks all right off the boot, but it's sprayed right. So, be another behind. 1-2-8 Geelong West to 1 behind Winchelsea. 7:33 gone in this Buckley's Entertainment first quarter.
Young Riley Berg. There was a Berg played at Anarchy for quite a while. I wonder if they were relations. I know who the grandfather was. The great Bucket. You'll hear his insights on anything and everything on 94.7 The Pulse on Friday morning. So
Is it?
Oh, Bucket. Yeah, he was the Berg at Anarchy. It was his grandfather, I think. So this might be another relation.
So Huff now doing the kicking in duties once again, playing at full back. And he decides to come straight up the ground, takes advantage, he gets an extra 10 minutes inside. Brown, good strong hands, and he's good strong hands.
I thought you said he gets an extra 10 minutes.
10 metres I meant to say. You know what I meant to say. You know it, don't start. So now it's Parrish to Parrish, and that was Finn. Outside to his brother, goes back to Finn. Parrish on the run through the centre wing, goes in short. Kick wasn't well directed and standing in the hole. The mark wasn't taken out there by Croft. Called the play on by the umpire. Now he's got to come in and take possession of it as things have been held up.
Wouldn't mind seeing that again. I thought he probably marked that.
It was a fairly good one, a bit like that Gold Coast mark late in the game the other day, but never mind. Umpire's out there making the decision, and then it's free kick is going to go to Geelong West. I think this may be Pullen once again. Decides to come back towards centre wing. That's a good way to kick over the top. Mitchell read that nicely, and he was standing back waiting for the ball. So
he
Mitchell
looks fitter too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't fit because of injuries for a while. Good player too.
Yeah. Excellent forward, so he knows he can go there, obviously, and have a spell. Ball comes out the back once again, out to Croft, goes further across the ground. Mark taken out there, this time Roweth. He continues to play, so they run the boundary line now from the far side of the ground, chips into the half-forward line, went looking for Richmond, a little bit too strong on the kick. Well, tried to keep it in there was Frats. He did that pretty nicely. He's got some support now. Handball went back to Richmond, looking back inside, and again, they're missing a few targets. They still might win possession of it here. Oh, player may have been held, umpire let it go. Now he will come in and take possession of the ball. 40 out from the Geelong West goal.
Pullen and Herman to go back at it now. Only 30 out. Tap goes down. Neither team can gather possession. We might have another stoppage here. We do. So, Grubby, I'd like to hear your thoughts early on. It looks like Winchelsea are getting numbers back and defending the hole quite well.
They are, yes.
The ball was squirted out now. Here's Geelong West player on the 50, gets smothered, ball, hand back up now. That was really well done.
Ruben James it was.
Ruben James.
Kenny Rogers.
He spreads the ball out to Primer. Just going to take some steam off the game here. It's been played at a very high intensity. Oh, it's well turned over. They're going to go inside 50 here, but back in the hole once again. Oh, no, the mark was dropped by Gubbins. Comes back now. They still might have a chance here. That handball is taken by Fraser, and then they've gone out wider again. Very well fought through on that occasion. Cersei Unsworth goes to the pocket. It's a great kick, and the mark's going to be taken by Gus Fratz. He set up the last goal. He nearly played on. He has played on now. He's in trouble. And is he gone? No, he stepped over the boundary line. So he'll have a throw-in no more than 10 metres out from West goal. He probably should have gone back and taken his shot there, Gus Fratz, or got back off his mark and not played on straight away.
He should have. It was pretty game by the defence because if the umpire doesn't call play on, it's 50.
Balling it back in now. Won by the Winchelsea Ruckman. It's very well done. Goes out here. Parrish got a few to beat, and he doesn't. Taken by Frangos. In the middle now. Dangerous spot for both teams. West win the ball again. I think that was Primer. Up and under ball. Who wants to stand under it? It was a good effort by Blackley Noda. Couldn't quite get it. Handball out now. They've got numbers there on the outer side. Oh, it's very well done. Silky and Fratz again. Oh, he's dropped the chest mark. Not on that occasion it was Fratz. He's had a last 5 minutes he probably wants to forget, but it was very well done by Oscar Miller to lower his eyes.
Ball thrown up in the forward line now. Parrish did the ruck work, goes out. Ball not going to come out of there. Carey is tackled straight away, so it'll be Mitchell was tackled and the ball's going straight back to the umpire. So we got Ruckman going at it, Carey and Parrish. Parrish tries to take it out of the ruck contest. Ball's picked up and cleared away. Going back there was Nagel. A nice little kick. He's put it down, but he's got time in Gubbins to go back and collect it. Outside to Huff on the right boot was a little bit wide, and it's going to come back just as quick because the umpire says it's out of bounds. The full free kick going to Geelong West. So far side of the ground, below the scoreboard. He's got some options. Long, players leading, goes in that direction. That wasn't a bad kick, and I'll tell you what, that's Blair out by himself. Nice finish, good lead, strong mark. So Alex Blair, an opportunity now to correct his first wrong, go back and have the second goal of the afternoon.
Well, Grubby, they've been all over him this first quarter, Geelong West in general play. It just seems like they don't have the composure going inside 50 to maybe have 2 or 3 goals on the board at the moment. They probably deserve to be 2 or 3 goals up.
Well, yeah, they probably will be almost in a minute, but they look dangerous. With Blair down there and Carey down there, they look pretty bloody dangerous. Especially if Mitchell stays down there for a while as well.
Yeah, it gives them 3 prongs. So Alex Blair steps in this time. That was a little bit better off the boot. The umpire said, I agree, and he has got his first goal of the afternoon and the second now for Geelong West. They move to 2-2. Winchelsea are 1 solitary behind Buckley's Entertainment first quarter scoreboard.
Well, they have. As you said, Arch, they're all over the top. I think Winchelsea's probably had 1 inside 50 for a score or point, but West have probably had 10 or 12 already. And it's, as I say, once they get their forward line function, they're going to look very, very dangerous.
Watch the contest. Winchelsea have 5-6 players around the ball while West is spreading. So even if they don't win the ball, when they do eventually turn it over, they've got numbers on the outside where Winchelsea have all their numbers on the inside at the moment.
Too technical for me.
Yeah, no, he's getting very, very critical. Ball from the middle of the contest once again. Player was held on there in the Mitchell. I thought he might have won a free kick. The umpire said there's a free kick going. It's going to go to Parrish. This is Cassidy Parrish. He gives the hands all off to Sawney. Sawney out wide, a little bit too strong. It was going to be turned over, but Winchelsea have been able to work the ball back inside, and that will be a mark. No, it's not. Cursup Cole, he puts the ball down, went after it again. Ball comes out in the tackle. Geelong West, they can't pick the ball off in the half-back line, so they now sit over the top. Umpire has done, or pulled a free kick there. I'm not too sure what the reason was, but it's going to come out. So Geelong West will come across the ground. A kick again wasn't good, so some pressure on once again. Comes out to Mitchell. He couldn't pick it up. Cursup Cole, he couldn't do the same thing. So there's obviously some heat in the game out there. Cassie, a little bit of clean hands then. His handball wasn't good. Then he was pushed in the back, says the umpire, and he'll win a free kick.
He just dropped it.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Saw the lips go up to the lips, the whistle. I thought there's 50 coming in.
So Cassidy now moves quickly the ball into their forward line. Good defensive work down there. Ball goes back over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in forward pocket about 20 around from the goal square.
I was with you there, Grubby. He started running towards goal, and usually the umpire starts running towards goal. You get nervous as a defender.
Well, I thought he was going to play. They're a bit nervous. There's 3 or 4 easy drop marks. You know, once the pressure goes off, you've got to hold them.
A lot of fumbling early.
From both sides.
So we'll have a ball in no more than 20 metres out from Winchelsea's goal, and they'd like a goal here just to settle the nerves a little bit. In front was well done by Sawney, although the ball was turned over West again. It was a great mark coming back the other way by Gemmell. They need to just hold position here and build a wall up on that 450. It's a great kick, and it's a good mark taken as well. I think that was Cameron Primer. So he's got a fair kick here, 45 metres out, I'd say. Kicks over the man on the mark. He might run around and try and get the arc. Slight breeze
As soon as he
tailing down
does
there
that,
as well.
he's too far out, he won't get it. Just go back
You
and
do
kick.
come off your line, but some players like it.
Yeah, but it's a little bit too far out this time for that, I think.
He doesn't look too confident, if I'm being honest, Grubby. I think
Well, there's no one moving for him up
there's
forward.
not. He's got no other option here, but try and go the distance here. 45 metres out to kick Winchelsea's first of the day in the GDFL match of the round. Goes back. It looks all right, tailing, and he had the distance all right, but just pulled it to the far side. So it's another behind, 2 behinds for Winchelsea, and 2-2-14 for Geelong West. 16-24 gone in the first quarter of this Buckley's Entertainment GDFL match of the round.
Frangos going back doing the kicking and duties now. Player short he's not going to use, and that was Craven. Looks like he's going to go there. Well, he did go wide, and the mark has been taken out there. That was Fraser. Fraser in the back pocket. So he's looking at his options. And as I said, there's not much movement at all, Grub, down the field. So he's got to go long. Pullen's in front. Gubbins from behind. Cassidy Parrish was trying to keep the ball in, but ball went over the boundary line. It's going to be a throw-in right on centre wing, or just attacking side for the Winchelsea side. Coming back onto the ground now is Herman to do the ruck work.
It was unlucky that ball didn't stay in bounds. Good to run away with it.
So Richmond and Herman do the ruck work. Herman did that nicely out the back, went straight in the hands of Brown. Now he had it. Oh, gee, I thought he put the ball down then.
I
but
reckon
got
he
a free
blew the
kick.
whistle for a ball up just before he dropped the footy spin.
So again, Ruckman go at it once again. Again, this time Finn Parrish comes out of the contest. Richmond did nicely in the ruck, then went and followed up. Brown put himself in the contest. Ball comes out towards Frats. He's tackled. Umpire said a little bit high there, so he's going to win a free kick. So Gus Frats is just going to put the ball into their forward line. Kick wasn't with great depth. Mark is going to be taken easily out there. Alex Gubbins. So Gubbins now will look to cross the ball. He's got some options on the far side. Cursive Cole's made some good ground out there. And if he gets hold of it, look out when he starts to run. He's going to take him on. The handball comes over the top. Marnicky back outside the Cursive Cole. He's looking for some options to come past him. He's running too quick for his teammate. Handball wasn't quite there.
It was too quick for his teammate.
Yep, he knew what he wanted to do, but he needed to bring someone for the ride, but it wasn't there.
But the trouble is when that happens, you just disregard that and kick it long.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You know?
Matty James, mate, run 20 and kick it another 20,
Rather
50.
turn the ball over 50 metres up the ground.
Exactly. If it goes out of bounce up there, you've just gained 50 metres.
So ruck contest on the far side again. Richmond does the ruck work, got the handball back outside. West back into attack. Gubbins was out in front, but it's actually taken by Viney, I think it was. Carey. Now there's a free kick being given, and again, I can't tell you what that was for.
Well, he pointed the wrong way. Look, he's still pointing the wrong way.
So it's going to go to Carey. He might not have the range here. He plays on, gives himself the best chance. He goes long to the goal square. Frats has done the right thing, but he's just let the ball go and through for a minor score. So 2-3 now to Geelong West, 2 behinds Winchelsea. We've gone 18.5. Buckley's Entertainment first quarter scoreboard.
There's the benefit of running on that arc, Grubby. Get the extra distance. It's a lot easier when it's in general play and not over the man on the mark, but
You might mind with that is you don't always get the accuracy when you do that. If you go that way, the ball usually stays that way.
here's the captain, Huff. Goes long down that line.
Always
Great
go
mark
mark
over the
that.
top. That's the second good mark that Jamal's taken. He's got a good pair of hands.
Not a real tall bloke either.
Goes centre wing now, and I thought it could have been a little bit of a better effort made by Indy Parish there. He kind of just watched the ball go out of bounds. It's not a bad result for Winchelsea though. Centre wing. They're starting to claw back the contest a little bit here, Grubby. Not getting beaten around the ball as much in the last 3 or 4 minutes as ball comes out. Parish now. That's of the Cassidy variety. Handball out. Comes. Good hands now. That was Cursive Cole. The speedster goes inside and it's a good mark taken
Indy Parish.
by Indy Parish.
Turn of pace, Ruben James too.
45 to come out now, and Cursive Cole early with that dashing run can be damaging as long as he's got a teammate to go along with him.
Their defence is matching up so well down the ground that all the shots that Winchelsea have had are from way outside 50. They're the hard ones to kick. They've really got to manage to get a nice pass inside them, say 40 metres out to give them a better chance.
Indy Parish is a known goal kicker.
Yeah, he can kick this kid. That's not out of his
Has to
depth.
kick at 50. The kick, Winchelsea's first for the day, and it's wide and maybe off hands. Yes, it is. So we're going to have a ball in 10 metres out from Winchelsea's goal. No score so far for Winchelsea, but 2-3, 15 for Geelong West. 20 and a half minutes gone.
So ruck contest, Parrish takes the ball out of the ruck test, goes back to Berg. He missed his target, and then Ruben James. He goes back after, but couldn't pick the ball up. So West now, another opportunity to clear. Ball comes out wide. Frangos runs onto us, looks up, kick round the body to centre wing. His teammate decides just to run it over the boundary line as the best option. That was Carey. So a chance for West now to get some numbers around the contest. See, I want to walk past this young kid Richmond out of here before grub. He's a big lad too, by geez. Got a bit of size about him. It's an hand ball over the top. Yeah, so Mitchell now picks the ball up and he goes looking towards Richmond again. Pushed under the contest by Huff. He'll go back and collect it. Got a little bit of time and space. Handball goes over the top. I tell you, that wasn't good. Well, Richmond, I thought, did that pretty nice at the end. I thought he might have kept it in. But an umpire right on the spot says, no, it's coming back to me.
Well, if I was the boundary umpire, I'd be throwing it in. I thought it bounced just over the line.
Well, that was a good call, Grub, the young fella. It looks like he's played a bit of footy too. He handles that ball pretty well there. Ball thrown in by the umpire. Comes to the front of the contest. Mitchell running onto it. Nice body work from his teammate. Goes back towards Blair. That's a great-looking kick. Could have been. Handball goes back inside. Picked up. And this time, Carey has got his second little left foot dab at the goal. And they move now to 3 goals. 3-21, I think it is. And Winchelsea on 2 behinds. And we've gone just over 22 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre. First quarter scoreboard.
That's what hurts you so much. Winchelsea all of a sudden start to just draw level, get a bit on top, have the ball in their forward line, can't kick a goal, and in their first entrance into 50 for about 10 minutes, bang, a goal. Most of it, that ball was going to be balled up. The umpire was just about to say it's not coming out of there, and somehow a bloke of Braden Mitchell's class has plucked it out, blind turn, and away they go, and Carey kicked the goal. That's really good footy.
Gobby, you said it best. I think it's the difference in the two teams setting up at the moment. Geelong West are getting better entries inside forward 50, and that's why they're 3 goals up. We're back in the middle now. Tap out by the West Ruckman. In the back, maybe. Umpire says play on. They'll go out the side now towards the wing. Ball was gathered by Berg. Comes back into the middle. The whistle's been blown. There's going to be a free kick. It wasn't paid by the officiating umpire, but he's picked out a free kick to Sani. Sani, he's going to look to go deep inside 50. As we've mentioned to Grubby, that all their entries and all their shots at goal have been 45 plus.
Yeah, they've got to get it in there.
But that comes into the forwards as well.
Is that a free kick to Sani? What was that? Did you see that?
Parrish went over the top now.
Tenterfield.
And finds Houston. Tane Houston goes down that line. Is there someone flying nearly over the top there? It was for Winchelsea. Quick hands out by Sani. Back to Parrish now. Comes inside. Berg, I think it was now. Ball ping pong. Stampy was there. Gets rid of the ball. Umpire says play on. It's a hot footy at the moment. A couple of players jump on it and he said give it to me. 60 metres out from the Winchelsea goal. And again, just a clogged forward line.
Well, that's what
by
they
Winchelsea
did.
And
they got it to within 40, and now they've pushed the ball out back out to 60. They're doing real well down there.
It comes down to the forwards as well. They got to move for Winchelsea. Make better options for these midfielders. Hey, we might have an opportunity here. It might have been caught. It was called play on. Berg was taking the tackle. He's found a free kick now, though, and it's going the way of Geelong West.
Yeah,
so
holding behind play.
So the ball now from Pullen decides to come out, clubroom side. Goes towards his teammate out there and Carey, but again, good contest there. Budavalis and sees the ball over the boundary line. Throw-in will take place centre wing, clubroom side of the ground.
Geez, a good player, that Budavalis.
Gave you donuts.
He did too.
So now the umpire with the ball, throws it back in. Gets it down, that comes out the back of the contest. Parrish was trying to run onto it. He put his hand on the ball. Then he got the handball outside, went to his brother. Cassidy, he was tackled, ball to ground. Ball not coming out. Umpire will take possession of it.
Got to be careful of those tackles. The umpires are especially looking out for those, putting the head in the ground first.
Yeah.
So ball again thrown back up in the ruck contest. Pullen taps the ball down. Parrish read it nicely. Handball wasn't effective. It's going to be turned over now. So attack through Miller. Goes back out wide. Mark will just taken there by Stone. Thought he had it and then decided he was going to let it go. Ball goes quickly into their forward line. Coming up. Carey was, no it wasn't. It was Blair that had a little boot on the ball. And a quick tackle was made. Umpire will come in and take possession just outside forward 50. So we've got Herman doing the ruck work down there. Again, front position. Body good. Tapped further afield by Cale. Ball is now at ground level. I tell you what, over the top there was Craven Briggs, but he couldn't take clean possession. There's umpires awarded another free kick for a push in the back, and this time it will go to a Sonderveld, it is. That's a tongue twister, but we got that out. Ball, good spoil. Ball goes over the boundary line just outside forward 50. So we've travelled just over 26 minutes. 3-3 Geelong West, 2 behinds Winchelsea.
How is that a tongue twister?
Well, you say Sondergeld 10 times.
All in now,
Quick.
50 metres out from Geelong West goal. They've kicked the first 3 of the game. Winchelsea yet to kick one. They've been dominating around the ball as the ball comes out. Winchelsea trying to get it forward, but everything just panicked for them in this first quarter. In and under. Geelong West can't quite win the ball, and it's going to be a ball up just in front of us in the commentary position.
I'd say it, but I lost a tooth.
It even seems like when West are winning the or are losing the clearances, are losing the hit out. Sorry, they're still winning the clearances. So need some more.
Ball be thrown up once again. This time, ruck contest goes forward. Again, they're trying to win the ball through the contest. It was through Hewson. Coming back the other way. Geelong West win the ball through Miller. Goes long into their forward line. But Gemmell goes back and takes a nice spark. Decides to play on quickly. Goes across the ground. Kick will need to be good, and it was. Nagel takes the mark. He doesn't waste any time. He goes further afield. That kick not so good, but the mark was. And Kirsup Cole slips in and takes it. And now he leaves his options. He's got to look inside. Go back to Gemmell. He's got a good pair of hands. He's already taken 3 or 4. Reuben James in space by himself. So he goes across the ground using him very quickly. But West have got numbers across this side. He'll need to go to a contest. That's where it's going to go. Not a bad bloke to go to. And Brown willingly paid that mark up in front. Ball comes out of that contest. Going to be picked up out there. Miller it was. But he was taken off the ball contest. This time the umpire said it's free kick. Wouldn't worry about turning the ball over. It's only going to cost you some ground weight, especially late in the quarter. It's going to be a free kick going to way of Blackney. No, it's not. It's Sarisi Unsworth.
It was just a bump, though. There's nothing untoward.
Yeah, no.
I didn't think.
So Reece Unsworth now, he goes long into their forward line, goes looking towards Richmond. Ball gets out back of the contest. Out there, Cale picks the ball up, goes sideways. Good little bit of hands there. Found his teammate Nan Curvis, was able to turn the ball over to Finn Parrish, and he goes back towards centre wing. Oh, great little pick up outside there by Sampy. Gets one way and back into the middle of the ground. Goes looking for and will find Berg. Streams through the middle. Long handball outside. Has Brown running on centre wing. Has options further down the field. A great kick.
You've got to keep
Cassidy
moving.
Parrish never changed stride there. His kick goes in. That's a shocker. Ball turns over and it goes straight back into the hands of Croft. So Croft on the half back line has the ball and will steady things down for Geelong West.
I'm putting this on the Winchelsea forwards here, Grubby. I don't know about you, but it seems like the midfielders are winning the ball and they're just not moving and creating space inside the forward 50.
Well, I think they did then, and he knew he had to get it in quick, and he kicked it too quick, and he kicked it straight down the throat of a defender that time. But the general rule, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let's see if they can make an opportunity here and kick their first of the day. We're 29 minutes gone, can't be long to go. The ball comes out now. It was grabbed. It may be a free kick. It wasn't paid. Comes out now. Parrish handles, and it's going to be a throw. So it's going to go the way of Frats. Couple of players putting their handball up. Might give away 50 if he's not careful here. He doesn't. So now, Geelong West go down that line towards centre wing in front of us. Ball off hands. Let's go out of bounds. Geelong West will be happy with that result, but just seems like they're dominating field position at the moment, and Winchelsea have just got to get their forwards moving a bit more and make sure they're using that right option because they're not making the most of their forward entries here as the ball comes back in now. Off hands, it was a good tap by Herman, but it was roved again by Geelong West. It's a 1-on-2 here, and the ball is going to go out of bounds. So we're going to have a ball in no more than 20 metres out from the Geelong West goal. 3-3, 21 to 2 behind Winchelsea. 30 minutes gone in this first quarter. Can't be long to go as very crowded forward 50 hit. Herman can't win the ball. Tried to throw a boot on it. Was Carey. He kicked one. Now Winchelsea are going to go out of the outer side through Gubbins. Then to Kirsten Cole, the speed machine. He's got more space than the first astronaut. The handball's over the top.
Stuff for handball.
Wasn't a great handball on West again. Are just going to be more clean. Rockworth was involved there, and there goes the sign for the Buckley's Entertainment. First quarter, 3-3, 21 Geelong West to 2 behinds Winchelsea. Thoughts, Grubby?
Well, I'm trying to think more space than the astronauts, Smithy. You've never come up with something like that.
No, that's pretty original, mate. I like that. Anyway, it says the quarter time, and goal kickers to this stage of the game is Justin Carey with 2, Alex Blair. He has the other one, and for Winchelsea, they are yet to put a major on the board. We'll take a short break, come back, second quarter action, not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The second quarter, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
Welcome back, and at quarter time, it's Geelong West, a 19-point leader. Other scores from around the grounds. Currently, we have Anarchy on 26, Thompson 19, Inverleigh 21, North Geelong 17, Corio 16, Bannockburn 28, Bellpost Hill 14, and 22 to the Belmont Lions. And there's one game we can't get a score on, that's East Geelong, but Grub might have some contacts out that way, so we might be able to get that one through very shortly. Grub, your thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, look, it was an entertaining game, which I thought the West Saints, I thought they actually won the quarter by a lot more than the scoreboard said. They were better going into inside 50. Their defence was magnificent. Not, as we said during the call, not allowing Winchelsea to have a shot anywhere within the 50-metre range, and that's good defence. The forwards, they've got to work on that and make better position. But I just think to be beaten in that quarter and to be only 3 goals down could be a bonus for Winch, because if they can turn the tables like we saw last week at Anarchy and Corio, if they can turn the tables and actually score goals, they'll be right back in this game. But on the other hand, if it continues to do this, they can't score and West will just keep going, then they might get a lead, but at half-time might be almost unassailable. So their forward line's really got to get open. And their back line, well, actually their midfielders have got to tighten up because, as I say, West have gone in pretty well. Carey looked good early. You know, he kicked a couple of goals, could have kicked another one. Mitchell was okay. They had a lot of good players, you know, whereas in Winchelsea probably... Cassidy Parrish probably did pretty well. You know, Kersop Cole got the ball. He got a chance to run.
Just got to be more composed.
Yeah, but what he did, he got the chance to run. Yeah. And sorry for talking while you're interrupted, by the way, Arch. But he got a chance to run, handballed it, buggered it up, just a little bit of pressure. So I reckon they've got to open the game up a little bit for themselves, and then they'll be a lot better. But as I say, they haven't played well that quarter. They've been beaten well in that quarter, but they're only 3 goals down, and it's still anybody's game. Now you can go.
Oh, thanks, Grubby. Appreciate it. No, I agree, mate. I thought that Geelong West, weirdly enough, when they had the pace on the ball and they went inside 50, I thought early on Winchelsea had the players back, and I think that's why it's not as big a deficit as it is right now. It's only 3 goals because they set up well behind the ball, but it seems like when they went to switch out the other side, they just couldn't quite get their forwards in link with their midfielders, and they weren't quite on the same page like Geelong West were. I think Geelong West, likes to the numbers, probably had 10 to 15 inside 50s in that quarter. So if this continues, as you said, Grub, they're not gonna be able to sustain it, and Geelong West will run away with it. But they're gonna take as a positive here, Winchelsea, that they're only 3 goals down, and that they can turn the game around the midfield and get some better connection with their forwards up the field.
Yeah, I just think West's pressure in that first quarter was something that they'll need to maintain for the 4 quarters. As I said, that last kick from Winchelsea going into their forward line was always the one that brought them unstuck. So back now, second quarter action. We are underway. So Ruckman again doing the ruckwork in there at the moment. Will be pulling. He's up against his opponent there in Herman. So ball doesn't come out, and there's a free kick being awarded quickly, and it's going to go to Geelong West Ruckman evidently over the shoulder was the indication. So pulling from the middle of the ground has got some options now to go forward.
He's been good.
Yeah, okay. Ball quickly into their forward line. Dangerous position. Good spoil from behind by the defence. Ball comes out. Went to McCaskill. Handball comes out wide. Again, they've got some runners. He didn't mind the start for this player, Miller. He goes long towards the goals. Has he got the carry?
I think he has.
I tell you what. I think he has. It's another positive start for Geelong West, this time with inside the first 30 seconds. I was going to say 1 minute, but it's a goal. And they now move to 4 goals, 3. They lead Winchelsea 2 behinds. And we have just gone 51 seconds.
Well, I tell you what, it's amazing what a free kick will do in the middle. They get it down quick. They did at that end what Winchelsea couldn't do, and they got it within scoring distance, even though it was a pretty long kick, and it was beautifully finished off. And I reckon that's a contender for the Corio Bay Health goal of the day.
So back with the umpire in the middle of the ground again. Once said, Herman has got himself ready up against Pullen. So both Ruckman up. This time Herman gets the ball down. Went to Sawney. Couldn't take it out. Went back to Mitchell. He lost possession of it. Tav Sawney did nicely. Into the hands there of Parrish. And he kicks the ball long into his forward line to his brother. Couldn't take the mark. Kersop Cole comes up. Goes to Parrish. Goes back to Kersop Cole. Tried to tap it back outside. Went back to Parrish. Runs inside to 30. Looks at goal. And he will finish. He gets his first of the afternoon. And a much needed goal for the Winchelsea side. They move to 1 goal 2. They trail Geelong West on 4 goals 3. We've gone just on 2 minutes. Elders Finance, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, that's what football's all about, Smithy. Got 2 or 3 blokes. One tried to tap it, one tried to push it, one tried to knock it on. And Cassidy Parrish said, bugger this, I'm going to do what you're supposed to do, and grabbed it one grab, few steps, bang, goal, and it puts Winchelsea back in the game. But that's what I say, grab the footy.
Kersop Cole had the right intentions to try to move the ball on.
Well, yeah, but
he just didn't execute.
Just grab the damn thing.
Yeah. It looks good when it comes off, but in that situation, it doesn't look great. So back in the middle now, Pullen and Herman. Tap one out here by West, but Winchelsea have the numbers here, and they're going to spread wide out to the wing. Mark taken in front of us. He's going to take his time and look further afield. He's got a couple of forwards moving up. Might go to the tip of the 50, goes over Parrish's head, I think it was. Handball out now, and there's a free kick called. It's going to go the way of Frats from Geelong West. So he'll gather the ball now, go short, with an up and under kick, but it's all right. Settled to Fraser. Fraser into the middle of the ground. It's a dangerous kick. It's good if it works, but it doesn't. Cut off now. Coming inside. There's some better movement there inside the 50, but the kick was misdirected. Just juggled the mark was Fraser. Oh, no. Kick over the top, and the ball is going to roll through.
Riley Berg, I think.
Goal. Might have been Pollard.
Touch off the breather indicated.
Berg or Pollard it might have been, and just a scramble kick forward. It just shows why the basics are so important in footy, Grub. Dropping that mark on that occasion with Fraser and nearly cost him a goal. But lucky on this occasion, West, as Frats will have a kick-out responsibilities. Goes wide to Buckwell. Buckwell down that line, 1 on 3. Oh, he pulled out of that. Probably not his best effort it was from Mitchell. Now, played on Winchelsea, back to the forward 50. Numbers with West. They don't win the ball when it goes out of bounds. Parrish might have copped a whack in the face. Cassidy that time, but the ball goes out of bounds 55 metres from Winchelsea's goal. 4-3-27 to 1-3-9.
That might have been Gubbo, was it, Smithy?
Here, yeah.
4 minutes gone in this second quarter. Thanks to Elders.
Ball back from the ruck contest, goes back towards the boundary line. We'll run over, so we're going to have a repeat of what we've just had. So it's going to be Primmer doing some ruck work in the forward line now. Up against Pullen, so Pullen with front position. Ball now thrown back in. Pullen tries to tap it down. Sawney come through the contest. Wins in the hands of James to Sampi. Sampi goes across the ground. And they're looking for a Parrish. This is Indy. Ball not picked up cleanly. Goes back to the hands of Craven. Oh, gee, he put himself under pressure and dropped it. And there will be a free kick given away. And another 50 will make it right in the line if he continues. So I'll just let him up and let him have a shot. So the ball's now going back to Parrish, and he will go back and look at his first goal of the afternoon. This is Indy Parrish.
There wasn't a lot of opportunity, but just enough, I think. Yep. I think the umpires got it right.
So a kick of about 25 to 30 metres. That's all he'll need to cover.
Missed his last one in the first quarter, just fading right. So he'd want to make sure he aims the right goalpost and let the ball tail back in here.
He's got distance on his side this time. I think the last one was from quite a fair way out.
So Parrish now steps in, kicks from 25 to 30, and he's dragged it again this time. And through for another minor score. So 1-4 now to the Winchelsea side, trailing Geelong West 4-3, 5.5 minutes gone. Elders Insurance, second quarter scoreboard.
Now Winchelsea might give West that kick to the pocket. They're not going to go to Croft. Frats is going to go to the outer side now. He went to Buckney Noto, and he went down the line, and then it goes touched out of bounds. So he's trying to use that far side of the ground, which for the majority of the game, those who've watched a fair few games at West would know it stays on this side out in our commentary position.
Couldn't pick who that was up. He read it well to get across there.
Now, ball back in. Off hands was Herman. Now, Geelong West win the ball. Or fending off. Lucky got the handball. Would have been paid holding the ball otherwise. Back in now. Trying to get to the centre of the ground. Well won by Winch, although it was dropping the ball. Good tackle. They might take advantage. They do. Quick forward entry. It's 1 on 3. And it probably wasn't the best advantage taken in the end. It was nearly played on. Winchelsea are going to go quick here. Use the pace. Coming over. Good effort there. Coming over the top was Cersei Unsworth. Handball back in. High tackle, maybe it is. So Geelong West are going to have another opportunity. Ball is ping-ponging back and forth, and it's going to be a shot 45 metres out on a tough angle. It's hard to kick him from that pocket.
Is that Pollard?
It's Craven.
Craven Briggs, is it?
I think it's 14. I reckon it's Pollard.
44 or?
Nah,
No,
14.
It's
14.
It's Pollard.
Yep, Daniel Pollard. To kick West fifth, their second of the quarter. 45 metres out, tough kick. Comes, looks all right off the boot, doesn't have the distance, and it's knocked over for a rush behind. 4-4-28 now, Geelong West to 1-4-10. 7 minutes and a half gone in this second quarter.
Ball in quickly now, finds Parrish Finn in the back pocket. Kick in was from Gubbins. He's got an option to go back to Gubbins in the goal square if he wants to, but decides to come clubber inside, round the boundary line. Again, Mark not taken in front. Handball comes out into the hands now of Gemmell. Gemmell turns and kicks back into their forward line. Indy Parrish front position. Ball comes out the back. Stayed on his feet. Did nicely. Had to protect it. Actually, it was some nice work out there by Buckwell. He's been able to drag it back and hold things up so that his teammates get back.
I can't see why that wasn't a free kick there. He's jumped high into
He's
him.
dragged it in, hasn't he?
No unreal. It was an unreal attempt, and it put him off his go to the ball. So I thought that was a free.
So Pullum's doing the ruck work up against Brown. The ball comes out of the contest. Brown takes it and clicks the ball long into their forward line. High ball. Parrish.
Hello.
Now there's a hold. 51, half a dozen the others, they say. So Parrish will have another opportunity this time to go back and shoot for goal.
Well, even that last one up there, I wish I could see that far because he tackled him and he threw the head back. I thought it might have been a bit lower when he tackled him, but I couldn't see that one. But then again, the umpire's about 5 feet away.
He was in perfect position that time, but they always tend to favour the forwards on that occasion.
Wow.
So Indy Parrish now an opportunity's third shot at goal this afternoon. Just a steady approach at it. Kicks at it, and he's been able to bring this one back enough this time. So he has got his first this time. And Winchelsea to 2 goals 4. They trail Geelong West on 4-4. And we are in Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
Well, they've really lifted their game. They're probably playing the better footy now, and they've kicked a couple, which means that once they've got the momentum going, they're actually kicking goals. But, gee, I thought he was going to run perilously close to the man on the mark that time. And I reckon he did. I reckon it come off the side, but he was lucky. There's no wind, so it just naturally came back. But they've got themselves back into the game here, and another one shortly, and they lower that gap to within a goal. So that's what they need to do now.
It's all about winning the ball around the contest, which they've started doing now in the middle. Parrish in the ruck for the time being. He might win the ball. He does. Bit of a hack kick. Goes inside the forward 50. Oh, well taken by the defender from West. Goes to Fratz. Can't quite gather the ball now in the path of Miller, and he's going to run the ball out of bounds in centre wing. So just there you can see the benefit of putting Parrish in the ruck. Wins his own ball and gets it inside forward 50. So
might have been Billy Higgins. We haven't called him much, have we, Billy Higgins?
Ball out. Taken back. Handball. Might have been a high tackle. It was. So Winchelsea winning the ball again on centre wing. On this occasion, it is Ruben James. So Ruben James got options out wide. It's going to go down the line. Get to 30 metres out from Winchelsea's goal. A couple of players. Zampi was there as well. Parrish. Oh, well done from the defender from Geelong West. Goes in the middle, over the Fratz's head, got the mark. Comes out now. That could be costly from Fratz, although they do win the ball back. Quick hands now. Oh, no, another little fumble. Skills just evading them at the moment. Pullen goes wide, and it was a fist. Is it going to go over the boundary line? No, West keep it in. Nice little pirouette. Comes back into the forward 50 of Geelong West. Playing in front was the defender from Winchelsea. It was Gubbins on that occasion. Go back in. Got to try and win the ball here, Winchelsea, and they'll have a tackle. So the stalemate in 30 metres out from Geelong West goal.
Well, there's something wrong with their structure. There's something wrong with their structure. He kicks it high to the 2 smallest blokes on their side.
Ball from the ruck contest, gain cleared away. Gubbins with the ball now, puts boot to ball, just drives it out long. Was looking for the boundary line. I think he's been able to find it just inside, so that's a good kick. Will be a ball up or a throw in to take place. About the half forward line in between there and centre wing.
Is Brown playing in the ruck, is he?
He's been doing a bit of run the ball, yes.
Well, they need someone tall back here when they kick it long. You can't kick it to Tav and Young Parrish because they're too little.
So the ball thrown back in this time. Ruck contest, they go at it once again. Coming out, Parrish did nicely into the hands there of James. James on the right boot goes across the ground, and a player in space takes the mark. I think it might be Gubbins once again. He's getting his hands on the ball, goes out wide. A little bit of a slow ball through the air, but I think they maintain possession of it. So that's probably what they wanted to do. They can steady things down now. Player in the middle ground calling for the ball is Coverdale. He's been ignored. He goes down the boundary line, goes looking for Stampy. Oh, nice grab up over the top.
Fly.
And that was Harry Fraser.
Pie.
There's Harry Fraser. Nice grab inside there, and he's setting himself down now. Got the photo taken. Now he deliver the ball further down the field. Goes back into their half-forward line. Ball out the back. Frats is there. Puts boot to ball. Kick was smothered again. Gubbins did some nice work at ground level. Went after it once again. Handball comes out of the contest. Picked up. I reckon that might be Cursive Cole because he wants to take a bounce and run. He's done so and done that nicely. Handball out the back. Goes back to Marnicky. He's tackled. Got boot to ball. Puts it into their half-forward line. So it's going to work out okay. Berg was first there but couldn't pick the ball up. Geelong West now have the numbers and through Buckwell they'll come back towards centre wing. Bit too much on the ball. Gets out the back. Frats once again. Runner outside. They use him. Out over the top now and they're freed up for Carey. Carey goes looking. Low flat kick.
Free
What is
kick.
it push? No, the umpire said ball runs through the contest. Numbers back. Brown from Winchelsea picks the ball up. A lot of time to look up. Has James out by himself. He needs to keep going, but he's been held up okay. Goes back inside. Kick wasn't good. Puts the pressure back on his teammate now. Pulling handballs over the top. McCaskill goes further afield. They've worked that back inside 50. Richmond comes at it. He can't take the mark. Someone's got to take a mark. Now he's tackled, brought to ground, and a free kick going against Cerisi Unsworth. Good defence there, Brown.
I'll tell you, Richmond can feel pretty hard done by there, don't you reckon, Grubby? After that non-paid push in the back.
Thought he might have got a little shove.
So now it's with the hands of Parrish. This is Cassidy. And he has now slowed things down on the half-back line. He decides he sense he's going to kick the ball a bit longer. Goes out towards centre wing. Mark uncontested there. If it wasn't Finn, it was going to be his brother Indiana. But the ball now moves quickly further down the field. Going back, Craven does nicely. Indiana Parrish puts his head over the ball. Taken over the boundary line by Mitchell right in front of where we sit. So we're going to have a throw-in which will take place. So as we tick over 14 minutes, it's 4-4 to the home side. Winchelsea are 2 goals for.
Winchelsea definitely starting to win more of the ball around the ground now. Grub been a lot better in the contest.
Oh, yeah. That's since
Comes out. Might have been Parrish in the ruck. Could have been an inspired move because it seems like they're starting to win a lot more of the clearances now. Should have been holding the ball. Wasn't paid. Good tackle. As the umpire says, he pins him for holding the ball. So it was a good tackle in the end.
Absolutely no prior opportunity whatsoever.
I don't think there was either.
Ball
Grub.
up.
So go on, Richmond. Oh, he gets that one paid against him. He's going to feel hard done by the umpires today, although he probably did chop the arm. So the free kick's going to go the way of Winchelsea. This time,
I think they've done a pretty good job, the umpires, but that was not holding the ball. Not in my book.
Lucky
the other one
now.
in the back up there, 100 yards away, so you give that one. That was right in front of us. I think that was wrong.
Gemmell. Let's look at his options and might just go on down that line now. Not too much else on. West look like they have the numbers, but it was a good mark. Going back with a flight. They're going to move quickly here.
Come on, Brownie.
He's going to move the ball in. Brown. And it's a great kick to Parrish on the lead. That's what they weren't doing the first quarter, Grub. They weren't assessing their options and darting the ball, and they're just going long down that line, and that's exactly what they have to do.
Well,
Just
they're going
find
to have
those
to do it,
targets.
and the reason being that they're very short up forward. If Callum Brown's kicking it in, then the blokes in there are very short, so it has to be out here.
It's a tough shot here for Indy Parrish. He kicked the last goal. It's coming back. Is it there? No, it's just missed to the near side. So 4-4-28 to 2-5-17. 16 minutes gone in this second quarter. Brought to you by Elders.
So Frangos back with the ball at fullback, doing some kicking duties once again. You've got a couple of short options out wide, decides to run and carry. We'll use one of those shorter options. Mark will need to be taken just inside the field of play. That is Sondergeld. Got it right this time, Grub.
How easy is that?
It's not hard when you can look down and refer to it, but when you're trying to call it.
And you've got all your teeth.
Yeah, I know. Oh, most of them. Ones you can see anyway. The ball goes back towards centre wing now, pulling in front. Good strong grab. Did that nicely. Parrish maybe should have punched from behind. Pulling plays on now. He wants to move the ball quickly. Again, another good kick to position. Mark, so the West have got the ball running forward now. Blair, he decides to go long. Out the back, they've got a player out there. Good. Oh, the Winchelsea defence got back in numbers and did that nicely and were able to spoil it, and the ball goes over the boundary line, 20 around from the behind post. So an opportunity maybe again for Geelong West.
They're actually doing what West done in the first quarter. They're making sure that they all get back, and they're outnumbering their forwards. But when you do that, you've got to find an option somewhere else, somewhere a bit shorter.
So the ball now thrown back in by the umpire again. Front and square, player required. I think Mitchell dives on top of it, tries to get the ball out and get it running. And he said that, well, it's high, he said. I'm not too sure, as I said, I'm too far away to see it.
Yeah, me too.
But Braden Mitchell now with an opportunity to go back and kick the goal. Decides to play on, goes round the body, gets plenty of height. Has he got the accuracy? I'll tell you what, he's only just got the accuracy, he's got the distance. And I reckon he would have loved to have that all over again, but he's got it through. Braden Mitchell with his first of the afternoon. The fifth now for Geelong West. They are 5-4. They lead Winchelsea on 2 goals, 5. Elders Insurance, we have gone, I'm not too sure how long, but wasn't a bad goal.
Well, you would know if you had brought the club.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Wasn't the prettiest goal, was it, Grub? But
Well,
there's no pictures in the scorebook.
No, the thing was, they got a free kick there, which, as I say, we're a long way away. I couldn't see what it was from. But while the umpire was actually in the middle there, he took off. I'm not quite sure you're allowed to do that either if you're lining him up. But all of a sudden, it went 400 metres in the air. None of us thought it was a goal. And all of a sudden, now he's a contender for the Corio Bay Health goal of the day.
Richmond and Herman in the middle here. Richmond probably won that tap. Herman goes back in and gets it. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Geelong West through Braden Mitchell. Mitchell gathers the ball, goes wide. It's well done for the Winchelsea defender playing in front. He's going to head out to the wing. Puts a little bit of air time on the ball, but it was a high contact as he marked the ball. He probably would have marked it anyway. So Prima gets a free kick. He's going to look inside. Not much movement. Might have to go long down that line. So look, just going to take his time. Doesn't have many options. He is going to go down that line, and it looks like there's all West players here. Unless Parrish flies over the top. No, it's a great mark. In defence, the kick was a bit off the side of the boot, right in front of us here. It was gathered by Miller, and Miller couldn't quite direct the kick properly, and it was parried over the boundary line by Daniel Craven.
I just saw Caleb Brandt here. Right, he had plenty of chances to be there. He's got to be there, Smithy. You've got to have some. They've got no Gould and that anymore up there.
Ball back in the centre wing. Richmond fought for front position and then got it and then gathered the ball. It was really well done by Richmond. He fed it out to Miller. Miller had a bit of a mongrel punt as it got turned over, and Winchelsea will retain possession here through Collins.
And Curvis goes back. Well, not too sure. Went back to Cale. And he's now going to play on. He's going to go back into the middle of the ground. Kick had too much on it, so they're going to turn it over once again. Straight back into the hands of Carey. Carey's got some longer options, and he's going to go that way now. He goes long out towards the pocket players. There's 2 out there. They raffle it off, and the mark has been taken, so they have an opportunity now to go back and shoot for another goal. Better look, a little bit more movement in their forward line this time, and an opportunity to kick the goal. Too sure who it is out there on the far side. But an opportunity, as we said, Geelong West now have come in for kick from about 25, 30 metres out. It's going to go across the face and through for a minor score. And that will move them along now to 5 goals, 5. Winchelsea on 2-5, and we've ticked over 20 and a half minutes. Elders Insurance second quarter scoreboard.
Winchelsea it. The ball back in now. Just wrestled the momentum back this quarter, and they took a couple more opportunities. The score could be a lot closer as it goes down that line now. Straight down to Caleb Brown, the vice-captain. He's going to go wide. Well moved to Berg. Berg's got a couple of options up the field. He's going to go back inboard here. Good handball. Now on that boot by Parrish. It's gone to the tip of the goal line. Oh no, he's taken out his own player, and it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I thought so.
It seemed like it was unnecessary from the West defender coming across. It might have been
Buckwell.
Fraser or Buckwell, yeah.
And he was the bloke that had the last shot for goal.
Yeah, because I remember the orange boots.
Yeah. I'm looking for long sleeve, orange boots, but I couldn't see his number till he got right down here.
There's only one other here, but he's got a short sleeve on.
Yeah.
Indy Parrish has been everywhere in this quarter. He's had 3 shots this quarter and 1 in the first, so he's already kicked 1-2 today. Let's see if he can guide this one home. No more than 15 metres out. Shouldn't be a problem for a player of his calibre. Yeah, and he slots it. Winchelsea have kicked their third. 5-5, 35. to 3-5, 23, 22 gone for the GDFL match of the day. Second quarter brought to you by Elders.
Geez, I'll tell you what, it's a long, long way to run from having a shot at goal, all to the opposite, just to give away a free kick. And I'm sure the free kick was there. He flew into the pack without his eyes on the footy. So it was definitely a free kick. But I'll tell you what, before this bounce, we had a go at Coroyo's crowd last week, how well it was. This is a big crowd. This is the biggest crowd I've seen at West for a home game for many a long day.
So the ball now thrown back in, pulling up over the top. Ball comes out into the hands of Finn Parrish again from the middle of the ground. He puts it back into their half-forward lines. Frangos, spoiled. Ruben James went back and collected again. Now he's left it behind. Again, well, maybe could have been a free kick given there, but umpire arrives and said the ball's not coming out of there too quick.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the umpire there.
Yep.
You feel a slight touch. He pulled his arms back, fell back. Good umpiring.
So the ball thrown up by the ruckman, or by the umpire. Ball comes out of the contest now. Miller leads in the race for the ball, picks it up, but then couldn't take clean possession off the knee. Good call there from the young umpire.
He's doing a good job, this kid. Bloody good job.
Doing a great job. Pretty warm for the young fellas out there this afternoon, running the boundary.
When you're that young, you could run all day.
Yeah, you don't care about it. When you get old, like us, Grub, you're in trouble. Ball out the back, especially when you're older than me. So ball from the contest comes out, kicked up there by Sondergeld, goes into the half-forward line. Gee, that was a nice clean pickup out there. That was by Blackney. No, that ball goes back into their forward line, but it's picked up and returned back the other way now, and Brown in space. He's getting a lot of marks, as you said, Grub, up through the midfield. Needs to be that next kick further down the field. Ball, go back into the middle. Finn Parrish into space. Runners outside. Doesn't use Cale, but he goes now longer. James has made some good space in by himself. Will he take on the player coming at him? No, he won't. Steadies himself. Goes back inside. Went whack again. Leading player coming up, and the mark has been taken, Sawney. So Tab Sawney. Now, I wouldn't say he's not within range here. He's a fair chance from here. He is a good kick.
He is, but he's a little fellow. He'd be right on it, I reckon.
Going back into the breeze. I'm not too sure he's that confident. Runs, gets a little bit of ground, but then uses the pass. That was a great pass. Mark was not taken. West are able to clean the ball away. They go back outside. Dangerous because they've got some numbers out there. Ball is picked up, kicked further afield along the boundary line. It stays in the field of play. Blair's coming up at it, but he's got some teammates to help him out. They grab possession of the ball, go back inside. Mark taken there by Craven Briggs. Doesn't waste any time. Richmond the sit, up over the top. Didn't make a real attempt there. Ball will go to Gemmell. Did that nicely. He just held his ground, and he will win the free kick. So Gemmell, last line of defence for Winchelsea.
Done it a couple of times, a young fella.
So Parrish now has made some good ground for him. He should have used him. He's seen him now, and he goes maybe a little bit slow. Parrish is going to have to stand under it, but he did that well. And he will go back and settle things down, you would think. Goes back inside again. The kick dangerous through the hands, into the hands of Mitchell. Looks up, and the mark will be taken by McCaskill, I think it is. And he will go back and have a look at the goals. He's right on the forward 50. An opportunity to get one back here, but he's got a player further afield, and he used him now in Craven Briggs. Not too much further afield he's going to be, but maybe he's that margin closer.
Maybe a little bit lazy by Winchelsea there, not manning up, thinking to go back for the shot.
So Craven Briggs, not too sure what they're singing out there.
I don't know, but they're having a bloody good time, and I haven't seen that at West that much, and it's great to see them. Great to see the crowd having a ball here.
Craven Briggs steps in, kicks that goal. Accuracy is there. Umpire says that is straight over my head. He's got his first of the afternoon now, and they move there to 6 goals, 5. Winchelsea on 3-5, almost 26 minutes gone. Elders Insurance, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, we all said they didn't gain much distance and whatnot, but that's why he gave it him, because he knew what a sort of a kick he was. That was a beautiful kick, never in doubt. And they just seem to manage to get a goal after Winchelsea get one and keep that little distance between them. And that's what Winchelsea, they're running out of time in this corner. They at least need one, because every time they get one, the other mob get it back and keep that distance. And they've got to actually, they're not making any headway in them, so they've got to get a couple in a row.
I think momentum's the most important thing in football, Grub. And at the moment, I think West are wrestling it back, but who's going to take it into half-time as the ruckman go out? Herman goes down.
Second most.
Going to come out now. Good hands. Herman was smothered. It was a good smother in the end by Sondergeld. Comes out. Up and under kick. Oh, it was well done to stand under that. That was Blackley note up. Comes wide again. They're really linking up inside forward 50. Here's Carey. And it's going to be a 50-metre penalty running over the mark. And this will nearly give Carey his second goal.
Just while they're running down there, The reason that was a good mark, because that kid did something that a lot of people don't do. He made sure he's got his body between the ball and the player behind him.
Yep.
Gave him no chance in the finish. Good play. It's going to result. That play is going to result in a goal.
So Carey's going to kick his second. And West extend their lead. And for all the hard work that Winchelsea have done to get themselves back in this contest, West are going to be leading, have their game-high lead.
Well, on the what scoreboard?
Elders.
On the Elders scoreboard.
Elders Insurance.
Elders Insurance. I tell you what, some of these blokes are going in that arty today. They should go and see Elders and get a bit of insurance, because you never know.
7-5-47 Geelong Leicester, 3-5-23 Winchelsea. 27 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
And they are the best in the business, Smitty.
Thank you very much for that, Grub. As you well know, ball thrown up in the middle of the ground. Both ruckmen go at it this time. Pullen taps it out the back. Brown intercepts, goes to Finn Parrish. Finn Parrish into their half-forward line. Ball through the back. Craven, good spoil from behind. Goes to Miller. He's tackled. No prior opportunity there. He tried to figure himself out of the contest. Couldn't do so. Umpire will take possession of it. Not big gap between the centre square and the 50 arc, but umpire now will throw it up right in between. Ball thrown up once again. Again, ball reached over the top. Goes into the hands there of Hughes, and he's tackled, brought to ground. And again, umpire will take possession of it. Ball up, similar position to last. So the umpire now with it. The ball is thrown in the air. Both ruckmen at it. Tapped out the back, went to Mitchell. He's tackled, brought to ground. And again, he's not having much luck in clearing it here. I wouldn't be surprised umpire pulls a free kick very shortly. So back with Herman doing the ruck work. Pullen's also there. Herman front position. Pullen over the top. Parrish had it, was tackled without it. Could have been paid a free kick. Picked up by Finn Parrish this time. He's tackling again. There's no ball or no exit of the ball from these contests, so we're going to have another throw up which will take place. Again, up in the air by the umpire, tapped out, went to Parrish, picked up by Brown. He got himself through the contest, went back to Sampy. His little boot to ball was okay. Got some ground. Frangos comes through, dodged in and out, little right foot kick, okay, into the hands of Miller. He's been okay for him as the siren sounds to end the second quarter here, which will see Geelong West go in at 7-5, leading Winchelsea on 3-5. To this stage of the day, it's Justin Carey with 3, 1 each to Mitchell, Miller, Blair and Craven Briggs. And for Winchelsea, Indy Parrish 2 in that quarter. Cassidy Parrish is the other goal kicker. We'll take a short break, come back and we'll have Grubby go through everything that's happened here in the first half. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The third quarter, brought to you by P&R Foods.
It's just come back after half-time, and we've got the current score: Geelong West 7-5-43, Winchelsea 3-5-23. Around the grounds, we've got Anarchy 36, Thompson 4 points up there. Geelong North, or North Geelong I should say, 44, Inverleigh 41. Some close games still. Bannockburn 67, Corio 51. Bellpost Hill 23-32 to the Belmont Lions. That doesn't look like they have changed for some time. I think that might be it. We got the Werribee game there at the moment. Grub, you said that East Geelong, East Geelong 35, Werribee 36, a 1 point lead there at the present time. So, another close round of footy.
Again, and I think we're going to get this all year, boys. And that's exactly what we want, really, because we can pick any game and hopefully we get a good close result.
That's what you want, and we look like we've got one here this afternoon. Where Winchelsea just need a little bit of work to be done. So the ball thrown up by the umpire once again. Ball comes out of the ruck contest, coming through. Parrish picks the ball up. Handballs goes back outside. Back to Finn Parrish on the right boot. Goes further afield. Marcus taken out there, and that will be by Beasley. Beasley's got the ball now, half forward line. And they haven't called him much, but that because he mightn't have been called the wrong player, but that's all right. So the ball goes into their forward line. Craven in front. Ball gets out the back. Goes towards Parrish. Taps it towards the boundary line. With him, I think that may be Roweth. Ball goes over the boundary line. Has it? Yes, it has, I think. Umpire said, let's throw it back into the field of play, about 10 metres around from the behind post.
Very important next 15 minutes, don't you reckon, Grub? Making shape the game here, the premiership quarter.
So Bowen with the umpire, throws it back in again, this time pulling front position, goes back towards the boundary line. Sawney can't run onto it, picked up out there, I reckon that was Sampy. He again is tackled, ball comes out of the contest now. Picked up out there, Brown goes backwards, back to Sawney, bright boot back towards the goal square, spoil, made in the goal square, they run it away. It's going to be picked up there, an opportunity, kick round the body. Has it got the distance and the carry? Yes it has, and Primmer, he has got the first after half time, which will see Winchelsea move to 4-5. They trail Geelong West 7-5, and we have ticked over just 2 minutes. P&R Foods, third quarter.
Look, that's exactly what had to happen for Winchelsea's sake. A goal the other way would have put them right under the hammer. But good goal. They've done really, really well. And I tell you what, so's the club. We're up there in the beautiful new rooms. They've got great people up there, great facilities. There's millions of people up there, the most I've ever seen. They're all enjoying themselves, and that's good to see. West has always been a bit down on supporters, but the lunch was magnificent, and the people are really enjoying themselves here at West Harbour today.
Herman pulling back in the middle now. Pulling, it's ball out now, West. They're going to win this clearance and go forward for the first time this half. Tracking back, but the ball going over his head. Richmond was there. Couldn't quite win the ball when it falls into the lap. Geelong West attacker, and there's going to be a ball up there. Daniel Pollard it was. Richmond going to take the ruck duties now. Against Herman, who's been good all day. Handball's out now. Brown was there. Hard football to win as 4 or 5 jump on it. We're going to have another ball up. 65 metres out from Geelong West goal. Richmond. Well done by Herman on that occasion. Gets it out. So he couldn't quite. Oh, here's Kirsten Cole. That run and dash. Takes a bounce. Gets it forward. Quick transition. Leading the chasers back to Primer. Kick the last goal. He's going to have a flying shot. Zampi's underneath this ball. Can he take the marker? Bounces in front of him. West, a little bit of a fumble, but cool, calm and collected. Out now. They're going to transition the ball. Miller was involved, and also was Fraser. Now the ball kicked down the line. A one-on-one. Good contest. The ball might go out of bounds in front of us, and it does. Good, quick football coming through here.
That's a free kick. That's actually a free kick. You've got to give it to the boundary line, but he kicked it 20 metres back to the field and up, which is an actual fact, a free kick.
Yeah. What a good job that young boundary umpire's done today as well.
Yeah, both of them. Very, very good.
Have the ball back in now and tussling for front spot. Herman had it down, and we're going to have another stoppage.
So we're on centre wing, ball now thrown back up by the umpire, front position taken, but Pullen gets his hand in, Parrish goes over the top, out to Berg, now he's free, looks up, little chip into the half-forward line, going back, mark taken this time, and it was by Primmer once again. He's had a few touches early in this quarter, that's a better looking kick, well positioned, that was nicely done. Getting back there was Cerisi Unsworth, but he did nicely to spoil. Again now, ball we won at ground level, ball comes out, umpire said there's a free kick, and it's going to be holding or incorrect disposal, whichever you like. And I'm not too sure who the recipient's going to be.
Is it Frangos down there?
Well, Frangos looks like he was there, but I don't know whether he laid the tackle, but must have been.
I didn't even see the free kick. No, the ball had moved on. I was watching.
So Frangos straight up the ground will be good to Stone. Stone's now got the ball at centre-half back position. He wants to look outside. Player out there, again position. It's Cerisi Unsworth once again, but it's picked up there by James. James handballs over to Sampi. He's tackled. And again, incorrect disposal once again. So they laid some good tackles out there. This time it was by Higgins. So Billy Higgins goes short. They always seem to have that free one up over the top. McCaskill has it now. He looks up and goes into the forward line. Blair always had good hands, and he does that and doesn't let him down. There's player long looking for the ball, and that's Carey. Wants it to go quickly. Goes back towards the pocket. Best position, but he lets the ball run through the contest. Budavalis also happy to see it go over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in. 20 metres around from the behind post, deep in the attack.
Ruben James was absolutely brilliant 1 minute to get to footy and then gave a hospital handball. You've got to be consistent. You've got to put good play together with good play, and now they find the ball way back up the other end.
So Herman now doing the ruck work up against Carey, he's going to take over in the forward line. Has front position, but Herman over the top, goes back towards the boundary line, and that will win out once again. Umpire will say, let's throw it back in.
Grub, I think both teams' structures have been pretty good at the start of this quarter. It's just the polish off of the skills at the end of it. Who's going to find that last kick and make sure the skills are executed properly?
You're right.
So the umpire throws it back in. Wasn't a big throw, but it's gone back towards the boundary line. Picked up, cleared away by Houston. Goes round the boundary line again, not picked up cleanly. Sampi did that very, very nicely. Got the handball back inside, put his teammate under a little bit of pressure. He's going to win the ball back again. Wants to go over the top, did so, but didn't hit the target. I think there was Rowath coming the other way. No, it was Frangos once again. Players tackled on the far side and brought to ground, so a ball up again to take place. Coming off the ground there with Rowath, I think. He was the last player up. Umpire throws it up once more. Ball from Pullen. The second go was by Herman coming out of the contest. Again, West with some numbers now forward of the contest. Look to deliver the ball long into their forward line. Richmond's the player in front. Ball gets out of that contest. Kicked off the ground. Didn't travel too far. Going back was Pollard. He couldn't pick it up cleanly. Richmond's there. Has an opportunity. Has a couple of opportunities. Now he needs to get rid of it. Goes back by hand into the hands there of Medwell. Goes back to Richmond. May have been taken a little bit high. Kersop Cole. Reckon he might have tossed that out the back then. And goes into the hands of Parrish. Out to Berg. Berg now delivers the ball further afield.
Behind the play. There might be a send-off here. And 50. So there's no send-off. He said it's just a bit rough, that's all. But he's still down, the boy. I don't know, is that one of the Parish boys?
Parish boys, yeah.
Yeah, he might have copped one in the midsection. Accidental or not, I don't know. But now it's a 50.
So the ball will be transferred now to attacking side of centre wing. And Parrish will come up and take the free kick. It was David taking on Goliath there, but the ball's into the hands of Sawney. Sawney goes long into the forward line. Ball hits the ground, coming at it. Picked up there. And it looks like Craven Briggs has got his head over the contest. Got the handball out the back. Sawney's made good ground down the field. Pullen also did nicely, and he will see the ball go over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in half forward line. And this time the Winchelsea boys are deep in attack. 7-5 Geelong West, 4-5 to Winchelsea. And we've kicked over just nearly 8 minutes, third quarter.
I've got a funny feeling it might have been Tanner Stone, the culprit there. We can say that because there was nothing underwood.
Ball down by Herman. Great tackle there.
No, you've got to ball that up.
The fans nearly talked the umpire to that.
They're trying hard, aren't they? And again, it's something you don't see at West for a few years, and it's bloody great to see.
It is an advantage for sure as the ball slips through the hands. The game's just gone up a notch here. It's a hot football, and it's up and under. Great tackle again.
That's a great
slipped
tackle.
High. I think it has. So
has it?
It's slipped high. So the ball's going to go to Houston. Tane Houston, 50 metres out. I don't think he has this in him. He goes short. Good kick just over the top, and a 5 falls in the lap of Zampi.
Luck's a fortune, I think.
I think he was trying to find Indy Parrish, went over his head, fell into the lap of Zampi, so might have not been where he directed the kick originally, Houston, but it's going to work out nonetheless.
Tell you what, if he kicks it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly right. No pitches in the scorebook. It's 15 metres out. A little bit of angle about it. He's going to go the conventional drop punt to kick Winchelsea's fifth. Get him right back in the game. I think he's kicked it. He has. Well done by Houston and well done by Zampi to finish it off there. A couple of the West players saying they thought it might have gone over the post or just to the near side, but he's kicked the goal. Winchelsea wrestling back the momentum now, right in this game.
Scores?
7-5, 47 Geelong West to 5-5, 35 Winchelsea. 9 minutes, 34 seconds gone in this third quarter.
On the which scoreboard?
And this quarter
P&R.
is brought to you
P&R Foods.
by P&R Foods.
Oh, Busey. He won't let you down, Busey.
So back with the umpire, middle of the ground. Umpire goes up and throws it down. West come through. McCaskill got through the contest, pulling handballs up over the top. Went to Gemmell. He couldn't take clean possession. No one's put their hands on the ball yet. Must be hard work in there, but Gemmell does so. Kicks back into their half-forward line, but reading the ball nicely. And the mark wasn't taken out there, so West, they continue to run the ball through Fraser, I think it is. Oh, no, it's not. It's Pollard. Young player picked the ball up out there, and a tackle strong. Umpire said nothing in that. Let's pick the ball up and hand it back. Good catch, Grub. Need a bit of a stool beside you.
Yeah.
So the ball now thrown back up. It's tapped out this time by Herman. Again, the ball didn't travel too far from the contest. Tackle laid very quickly. Umpire will come in and take possession of it. So ball back with the umpire, thrown up again. Herman taps the ball back towards the boundary line. Brown was going to be the first to arrive. Coming the other way was Mitchell, got through the contest, fed the handball over the top and went out over the boundary line. Have another throw which will take place. A true centre wing, club rim side of the ground. Umpire back with the ball now. Good throw in again. Ball comes out, pulling. Hits it back towards the boundary line, picked up by James, shrugged the first tackle. Now he's in trouble. That was incorrect disposal. He down to get rid of it, umpire. Ball was thrown out the back, went to Marnicky. He just loads up, goes into their forward line. Ball over the boundary line, had another throw in to take place further down the field.
Right in front of the West fans as well in the new pavilion. They are not happy with that decision, and fair enough, I think.
Wasn't Aubrey look from where I sat, so it's umpire maybe been blindsided a little bit. Umpire has made his way down there now and again throws the ball back in. Good work there by Pullen. Goes back towards Mitchell. James is with him. Mitchell takes the ball. Got support inside. Handballs quickly to Pollard. He comes around the boundary line. Richmond in front. Good spoil by Huff from behind. And we're going to have another throw which will take place. This time closer to where we sit. Half forward line for the Geelong West Giants.
About 75 metres out from goal. Geelong West now. I'd like a goal here, just to steady up. Winchelsea kicking the first two of this quarter. Balls back in now, fighting for front position. It was knocked down by Herman. He's been good in the ruck all day. Brown was there as well, and Parrish. Parrish goes down. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going the way of Winchelsea, and the Geelong West locals are not going to like that. It's going there, rubber the green their way at the moment. This is Reuben James. Rip shoulder take. He's going to go short at 15. It was an ill-directed kick. It was fumbled as well. A couple of clangers there. Coverdale couldn't quite get the ball, and the umpire's given her a free kick. And listen to the cheers of the Geelong West locals.
Getting involved in the game, definitely.
As Braden Mitchell, it's good to, as Grubby said, it's good to hear him. Braden Mitchell was a bit of a mongrel of a kick, but it finds the lap of Pullen. He might go down the line. All Winchelsea players, they fell over each other though. Now they've got a couple to deal with. How's the umpire going to see this one? Oh, yes, he's given it. It looked like he signalled to give the ball to him, and then now, anyway, West are going to go on with it. Cerisi Unworth gets smothered as he kicks the ball, and it's going to be parried out of bounds by Nagel. A very entertaining couple of minutes here.
Well,
umpire looks like he called for the ball back to him and then
looked
changed
like that
his
to me
decision.
too. Belpost still 23, Belmont 50, Corio 51, Bannockburn 79.
10 metres out from the ball. Pulling back in now. Herman it was, and He's given a high free kick, so it's going to go the way of West. And Brown might give away a 50-metre penalty if he's not careful. It's been free kicks aplenty this quarter.
Inverleigh 41, North 44. Belpo still did that one. His phone's playing.
7-5, 47 to 5-5, 35. 14 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Anarchy 43, Thompson 46.
Tannis,
Werribee Central's 42, East Geelong 36.
Tannis Stone with a big goal. Big moment in the match here if he can kick this. No more than 25 metres out. He's kicked it to Mungra. It's coming back, guys. It's stuck in. It has. He's kicked the 8th goal for Geelong West. Extends their lead and stems the momentum back to the Giants. A much-needed goal, and the locals love to see it.
I'd like to see it again. Oh, I've got to watch it here. I'll tell you what, it must have moved after it went past through the points.
What's the scores? Touch scores.
Oh.
It's 8-5 Grub.
8-5, 53 to 5-5, 35, leading Geelong West way. 14 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter, brought to you by P&R Foods.
That's what I wanted to hear. A few free kicks gone West way here, and I don't think Winchelsea are very happy about them.
Back in the middle again, Herman doing the ruck work up against Pullen. Both ruckmen have done most of this all day. Ball comes out of that contest again, back towards centre wing. That was a heavy hit on Cursip Cole. He gets up. Handball goes out towards the big ruckman there, and Herman. That was incorrect disposal. The umpire lets things go on into the hands of Brown now. Tries to get out of the middle contest. Goes to Sampy. Handball back outside. Kale now, little short kick into the forward line. Wasn't great. Teammate comes up at Parrish. Picks up, fends off. Looks at goal, and delivers. No, he hasn't. Just offline.
Early crow.
Indy Parrish has just missed, and it moves now to 5-6 to the Winchelsea side. 8-5 to Geelong West, and we have ticked over almost 16 minutes. P&R Foods third quarter scoreboard.
The umpire didn't really move far, which they normally do, and I thought, hello, but he's got it right. They really needed that one. That's the one they needed to get the momentum back. Yeah.
Frangos to return the ball for Geelong West here. Had the kicking responsibilities all day. He's done a pretty good job.
He lost a pair.
Yeah.
Going to go short. It's just got over the head of his player. They're going to go back in now. Winchelsea to the top of their goal square. Comes back in. Couple of players around the ball. And Cursip Cole's there. Another one. We're going to have a ball up. Sawney was there. Tell you what, that could have been Routley's goal of the day.
No. You don't
think so?
No, it's the mark of the day, Routley's. The big men fly for the Routley's pie.
Shot a goal there, but I didn't see who kicked it there.
It's going to be behind. Goal of the day by Connectel. Sorry, Grub.
I don't think that's it either. From memory. Let me have a gander. The goal of the day, Corio Bay Health. Change every week.
Yeah, I got this today.
So the ball now picked up. Frangos is going to do the kicking in. He's going to go long. I tell you what, he's gone long. He's gone wide. He's gone far too wide. The ball is out of bounds on the full, so it will come back to where it came from. Parrish is going to be the recipient, is he? No, he's not. Further afield. It could be Sampy that's got the ball. Just can't see who it is. Yep, Sampy. So Sampy now looks like he's going to deliver the ball. He goes short the option. Again, kick not good. Frangos sitting in the hole, and he has taken the mark. Grub's lost a pair of glasses. He's looking for a recovery up in the bar, I think. So the ball goes out wide. Richmond for Geelong West has the ball. They can steady things down here for a couple of minutes if they want to. He's got some options further afield. He goes short. Kick had to be good and was. Marcus taken out there. I reckon this Blackley Noda's got the ball now, and he's going to go with a little bit longer kick into their forward line. 1-on-2 contest. Ball comes out the front. Coming onto the ball. Berg couldn't pick the ball up. He's had support there, but Fratz has laid a pretty good tackle on the far side of the ground, which will hold things up. And we will have another ball up. It takes place on the far side. Got him. Jumped out at the front. Ball thrown up by the umpire again. Herman out the back door. Goes towards Marnicky. Ball runs round the boundary line. Picked up out there this time. Coverdale goes round the body towards the half-forward line. Coming across. Mark taken out there by Craven. He looks inside. Kick will need to be good and has Buckwell. He's got players across the ground. We'll use one of them in Crofts. So now the players will need to spread for him. He goes out wider, leading up at the ball. And Mark will be taken out there. And a good work there from Pollard. So they move the ball from one side to the other. They keep possession of the ball. Ooh, that was a little bit of a danger kick, but they've been able to come off with it. Goes back into the centre. Richmond in some space, but the ball is spoiled from behind. Picked up by Herman to Sawney. Sawney gets around, delivers the handball. May have been a push in the back, but the umpires allowed things to go. Stampy goes back, went looking for his teammate, but was turned over once again. So Miller now, Geelong West on the half, or just on the half back line, goes out wide. The mark has been taken centre wing by Frats. So Fratzy now plays on and goes into the centre half forward position. Blair's the target. He's up. One hand. That's a good grab. That could be mark of the day.
Oh, you're guilty.
And Alex Blair gets to his feet quickly. His options not too many because his numbers are all blues back behind the ball. He's got options out wide if he wants to go that way. Called the play on now by the umpire. Oh. Caleb Brown thought he heard the umpire call play on. Obviously that hadn't been. And so now he's going to be rewarded with a 50-metre penalty, which will take him to about 10 metres out from goal. And Alex Blair, who has got one for the afternoon, should add a second. So it'll take him to... Oh, no, he's got a little bit further than 10 metres to deal with, but he's going to go to about 20 metres out and almost directly in front. So, was a good mark. He just needs to finish his work here. A few boys down with cramp again. Grub, we're seeing it early in the third quarter here today, not late in the last.
Yeah, the weather's pretty conducive for that too.
That's what we said. Better in the box today than being out there. I can give you the drum.
Well, I'm not so sure. I went for my glass and got a cramp myself.
Blair, I tell you what, he's got the hand in the air, so he likes it. The umpire also says it is okay. His second of the afternoon gives Geelong West their ninth. They're 9-5. They lead Winchelsea on 5-7. P&R Foods for third quarter scoreboard.
I think that's where they got it over him too, Smithy. They've got Blair. I've said it earlier. They got Blair. And they've got Carey, a couple of big blokes down there, and Caleb Brown's still up the ground. So, I don't know. I know you've got to get the ball down there, but Winch have had the ball down there enough to get it to him. They're just a little bit short down forward.
Do you put him back now for the rest of the game and take the option out of there and hope that he takes some grabs?
Well, I don't think they're going to win the game without it.
Back in the middle now. Herman down. Parrish nearly had to gather through now, and then he lays a great tackle on Fraser, and umpire says give the ball to me.
The deterrent to that is he is playing pretty well around the ground.
Yep, been good. Yep.
Yeah.
Goes up now. Down. It was not a bad tap there by Pullen, but it gets taken straight away again. I reckon, boys, the Winchelsea look like they've got one weapon every time they go inside 50, and that's Indy Parrish. They're going to start looking for another option. As we go down now, Brown handballs out to Parrish. That was of the Finlay variety that time. Gets out to Cursip Cole, the speed star. Great handball inside. Now they go inside 50, looking and finding Primer. Great mark.
Gus.
Hey, he might be up in the grandstand.
I didn't see him up there, but he could be.
That's what they've got to do. Get it in quick and get position. You're right with Indy Parrish being one of their focal points, but not in the air. He moves, and he moves well and leads. They also need the tall option as well. Not then, because it was a beautiful kick into position.
Primer. Get one back for Winchelsea. Keep them in this game as Geelong West is slowly running away with it. No more than 10 metres out. He's dobbed it. He's kicked the goal. He's kicked his second. 9-5, 59 to 6-7, 43. 22 minutes gone in the third quarter, thanks to PNR.
Well, they won't go away, but as I just want to reiterate what I said just before three-quarter time. They have to get a couple in a row. If it keeps going like this, they just can't win. So West have been able to get a couple themselves. They've got to pretty much get three in a row now. At least two anyway, rather than get one and then West get one back.
So back in the middle we go once again. This time Pullen does the ruck work. Ball goes into the hands there of Sondergeld, and he can't release the ball. Umpire will come in and take possession of it.
You're doing all right with Sondergeld.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what.
You've got Bailey Cale under control.
Yeah, well, actually at the moment I have. Now you've said that, you know what you've done, don't you? Ball comes to Parrish out to Cale. Cale goes quickly into their half-forward line. Croft front position. Ball gets out the back. Another chance here. Player going back was Primer once again. Left the ball behind. He's got support now, and that was through I reckon Ruben James there, but the umpire said there's no ball coming back. It's going to come back to the umpire, so we're going to have it thrown up about, I reckon, 40 metres from the goal. Winchelsea deep in attack. Ball from the contest back towards Brown. Shrugs a tackle. Boots a ball. Went straight up in the air. Actually went backwards. Picked up out there by Miller. Got the handball away. Not too sure who he was looking for, but it goes outside the frats now. He's got the handball out, and I won't say it was an effective one because it's going to go back to him once again. At hands and knees. He works hard over the top. He has been held up. Umpire has come in very quickly this time to take the pressure off all players.
Bit of basic mistake. And he actually had a look to where he was going before he handball, and he didn't have the time to do that.
So it's thrown up again once the umpire now. Herman taps the ball down. Picked up. Primer goes... wasn't pulling, sorry. Gives the ball forward. Mark has been taken out there, this time by Pollard. So Pollard just forward of the centre wing goes out wide. And again, Mark taken out wide. Carey started well, takes a few grabs. Now he kicks long into the forward line. Goes back towards Blair. Danger again. You can see that miles away.
He dropped it.
Oh, he did he? Umpire said play on.
Gee, he controlled it all the way to the ground. I took my eye off of things. I thought he
had it well as well.
I think we all did.
That was one that got away from him there, I would think. Was started behind and made it to the front, but then couldn't control it. Ball up now. Mitchell doing the ruck work out the back. Parrish has the ball. Player tackled. Comes to ground. Umpire has no other choice but to come in and do it all again. So both ruckmen go at it again. Brown and also Carey comes out the back. This time Cale works his way through the contest. Went to Houston. Handballs outside to Cursive Cole. Wants to use his pace. Got the handball away. Oh, throws to the umpire. Not too sure about that. He's trying to...
That's not a good way to make a decision. I'm not going to criticise the decision, but when you're behind the player like that, there is no way he can see whether that was a handball or a throw. You cannot guess. You have to let the game go. It might well have been a throw, but you can't guess, and I think that was the wrong way to make the decision.
So Fraser with the free kick and also has a little bit of cramp biting at him, so he's looking for a pass into the forward line again. Ball goes towards Blair, gets out the back. They jump on it. Frats tries to work through the contest. Going the other way is Nagel. He can't get out with the ball. Umpire says, let's have it back with myself, and we'll have another ball up which will take place. Only 15 out from goal. Looks like Parrish back there doing some ruck work now. Ball from that contest. Parrish takes it out. Goes back to Gemmell. Little left boot. Oh
no.
Play on, says the umpire.
Not
ball
15.
is kicked back towards goal. Hits the behind post. Out of bounds to the full play on. So Parrish does that straight away. Handballs up over the top. Found Berg into some space. Now they're going to get the ball to come back.
Go back behind his mark.
Well, he went round the goal post, so I don't know what else he could have done. Anyway, we'll take two there.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
So Parrish goes short, finds his brother Cassidy. Will look for the 1-2, no doubt. Going to play on and go wider. Kick a little bit too much on it. Gets out the back nicely. Primer handballs back inside. Curse up Cole once again. Got the ball. Goes inside to Sawney. Sawney now. A little chip up over the top. Reading that night was Roweth it was, but he couldn't take possession of the ball. Handball wasn't good. Gets out the back towards Sawney once again.
Falcon.
Well, it was a little bit there. Craven Briggs went head first into the contest. Didn't come through with the ball and or anything else. Now
going to play hold the ball.
I think so. You're right there, Grub. Come out the other side and get rid of the ball. Free kick is going to go. And I reckon that might be Parrish once again, is it? Yep. Decides to play on a little quick kick, and the mark has been taken once again. And Primer has 2 for the quarter, can go back and kick at goal number 3.
I got my special glasses on, Smithy, and I still can't see that far. I might have to get the binoculars out.
So a chance to bring this margin back to 10 points. As we said, Primer with 2 goals in the quarter.
Come on, bring it back to 10. I don't brag for them, but I brag for a close game.
They needed another 4 to step up, and Primer's done just that.
So he now comes in. He's going to kick from about 40 metres. 45-degree angle here. Kicks at goal. Drifting across.
Archie, you spoke too soon, Archie.
Through for a minor score. Parrish with 2-2 for the afternoon, and Winchelsea now to 6 goals 8. They trail Geelong West on 9 goals 5. P&R Foods third quarter scoreboard.
He's still standing up, I reckon, Grub. He's been an option down there. They're not just looking for Indy Parrish now. It's not just a...
He wanted that one, though, mate. He really did.
Rangos now, long down that line. Oh, he's got numbers over the back. Oh, a bit of a fly.
There's a free kick earlier, and it's going to go to Winch.
It's going to go to Winch.
No, it's going to go to another West player.
Have that great mark that was taken by Blair. It's going to come back. This is Mitchell. Goes down. Looking, 2
Oh,
on 1.
that's in the
Gets on
back.
Parrish gathers the ball. Quick hands. Goes wide. They're going to go across goal here.
Oh,
This
dangerous.
could be risky. Dangerous. He's got to be really careful. The Winchelsea defender does really well in the end. Might get the 1-2. He does. Oh, no. They've turned it over. Even numbers inside the forward 50. Couple of clangers. Was it high contact?
Yes, it was. Accidental, but
And the umpire, I thought he was in a pretty good position to see that.
their skills are almost just letting them down here at the minute.
Parrish in the ruck now. Grabs it out. Wants to do it himself. And then he's
hold the
taken
ball.
down. It's going to be holding the ball.
Yep, no doubt.
He just had no one to give it to. It was an idea. And
You're not going to reverse it for that, surely. No, he's
who's
not.
free kick? Is it going to? It's a West free kick. And
No, yeah. When he was laying on the ground, he actually pushed him into the ground a couple of times with his fists into his back.
Umpire just gave him a warning.
Yeah,
luckily.
umpire warned him, and that's exactly
all right.
what
Yeah.
should happen. Give him a warning. There's no there.
Tanner Stone from 40 metres out to kick Geelong West 10th goal. Just drifts, and a couple of the West supporters went early there. That's 9-6. 60 to 6-8, 44, 29, nearly 30 minutes gone in the third quarter, thanks to P&R Foods.
So Huff now with the ball at fullback. He won't want to waste this kick. He wants to go short into the hands of Cale. They want to see themselves through to the three-quarter time break now. They go out wide. Parrish in the back pocket. Finn Parrish. He goes along the boundary line. His kick's also good. Coming up, Primmer once
It's
again.
50. Not much in it, though. No, umpire says I'm not getting sucked in like Grubby did and go, no 50. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough, Grub. I agree with you there. Primmer with the ball, half back line. So he decides to go further down that side of the ground. Parrish is in front. Ball comes to the front. Curse up Cole. Went onto the ball, but it's picked up by Croft, and he puts it on the left boot and goes back to the half-forward line. Same thing's going to happen
That's a
there.
free.
Had eyes not going for the ball this time.
And who's that,
Primmer.
Smitty?
That is Primmer.
That's
Got
our
the ball.
new focal point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. He's
that
released
full
himself.
back?
He's got. He must have had a bit of a run on the ball, so he goes out the back now towards Huff. He's got plenty of options this side of the ground. Which one's he going to take? He's looking for the longer one. Goes up over the top. Kick will get to Marnicky, and he comes up from behind and takes the ball. So as the siren sounds to end the third quarter here, which sees Geelong West going at 9-6-60. They lead the Winchelsea side 6-8-44. Goal kickers to this stage of the day: Justin Carey with 3, Alex Blair with 2, 1 each to Stone, Mitchell, Miller and Craven Briggs. And for the Winchelsea side, 2 each to Indy Parrish and Cameron Primmer. And in Cassidy Parrish also with 1, Jack Sampi also with 1. Take a short break. Final quarter action not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. To the West Oval here, 16-point leaders Geelong West at three-quarter time, just around the ground. If I can get my phone going back again. East Geelong 52, Werribee Centrals 51, Anarchy 56, Thompson now with a 9-point margin, 65, close one out of Inverleigh. They are 60, trailing North Geelong on 63, Corio 68, only 20 points behind the Bannockburn side on 88, and Belpo still 30, are being defeated by, or currently behind, Belmont Lions, who are 65. So again, most games grab very, very close, and this one here not too, even though the margin's 16 points, it's a lot closer than that.
It's only 16 points, one goal the other way. Well, before you say that, but I'm glad you got your phone back, but I think you're going to have to get rid of that 1983 handheld Motorola. But other than that, I just think if West kicked the first goal in this last quarter, I don't think Winchelsea can win. But if Winchelsea can get down, kick that first goal, then we are dead set game on. And it's been a good, entertaining game, except probably, I think both sides are exerting so much pressure that there's been drop marks, there's been a few fumbles, and in the end, I don't think it was clear and as clean as last week's game, but it's still just as good to watch. And as I say, we need Winchelsea to kick one so we can have the close one again. But again, it's the battle of the back lines. You can't blame bad kicking. 9-6 to 6-8's not too bad. So in actual fact, I think it's a little bit closer. They've had the luck of the draw, West, a little bit to get 16 points in. I thought it might have been even closer. But look, a great effort by both sides. We've got to remember West fell over a little bit in the last quarter last week. I don't know if it's because Thompson was a great opposition or they did run out of gas. Because if they run out of gas here today, look out, we'll have a game on our hands. And we might anyway.
Well, that's what we're hoping for, Grub. As I said, we don't want to see one side just blow it away now. We want to see this go right down to the wire so we can enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And as I said, once we get some final scores from around the rest of the games, there's also some interesting things happening out there, mate. What are your thoughts here for this one last quarter, Arch?
I reckon just exactly what Grub was saying, not to copy him, but I think if they kick the first goal here, Winchelsea, the belief in the playing group starts to calm, and they'll start to play with more spark. Although if West kick it, you'll see it really deflate. And also, West might go into their shell and try and save the game. And then that's when Winchelsea can come over the top if they kick the first goal. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that quarter was really good from Cameron Primer. I thought he stood up, took a couple of really nice marks. I think he kicked a couple of goals as well. It wasn't just relying on Indy Parish going inside. So I think it's going to be one around the midfield here, boys. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I just got a very, very disturbing text from our viewers. So all I will say is, Archie and Amelia, nick off.
Caleb Brown again starting in the middle. I think if they're going to win the game, that's one bloke I'd be putting forward. So that's why I'm sitting up here in the box and not coaching anymore, Grub. Ball is going to be back with the umpire, Herman, doing the ruck work, and he's going to go up against Pullen, who's been, oh no, it's not, it's Richmond. Richmond gets the ball down, goes outside, ball taken. Well, tackle was laid. Did he have prior opportunity? Umpire said no, let things roll. Ball continues to flow. He's got to come in shortly and stop things, and he will now. So we get off the centre square. Ball will be thrown up by the umpire. We've advanced a little bit towards the Geelong West goal. Nice work there. Herman comes out to Parrish. Finn Parrish gets boots a ball. Ball went high, goes back, and that's a good grab. Curse up Cole. On centre wing, got the handball outside to a better use of the ball, and that was Tav Sawney. Long into their forward line, coming across Croft. Good thump of the ball. The boys on the footy show will be happy with that one. The golden fist. Ball goes over the boundary line. Have a throw in right on the forward 50.
Parrish comes to knee right in the back there.
And the kidneys, nothing worse when the hands are up and you get one there.
Well, there is something worse. You get one to the front of it.
Jack's Crackers. Ball from the front run crux contest goes back. Again, Winchelsea give the ball through Parrish. They go back outside. Ball was in the hands of Beasley, but he couldn't keep it in the field of play. And it's going to go back to the boundary umpire for another throw-in. As I said, this young fella has worked this side of the ground most days. He's playing on his favourite wing, I think. So, ball from the umpire, thrown back in. It's going to be cleared away. Handball's not a bit hot for these playing coming at the ball. Craven takes it over the boundary line. So, we're going to have another throw-in. Similar position to last. So, Marnick just wanting to know where the ball's going. It's going back to the boundary, young fella. Good work. Herman looking to take front position this time. Bit of strength, takes his opponent off the ball. Out to Brown, was looking towards Sawney. Oh, he had prior that time. I think he's gone. Good tackle by Mitchell. And he will be the recipient of the free kick. So Mitchell now right on the 50-metre arc in defence, goes back towards centre wing, coming up at the ball, pulling, comes up, and that's good work from the big fella. Worked tireless in the ruck. Still got some energy in the boots there. There's a long flat kick, will be wide, and too wide, out of bounds on the full free kick, turning around. And it will go to Primer, who looks like he's got himself back behind the ball this time instead of up on the forward line. So, again, another coaching move I probably wouldn't have made just yet, but
I think they made that towards the end of last quarter.
Yeah,
down there.
So Primer's short kick, dangerous. Probably should have been marked there, but it's into the hands, up in the hands of Parrish. He goes back towards Cale. Bounce, made him stop and wait, try to get through the contest. He's not a big bloke. He did get through, but the umpire said he didn't. Incorrect disposal. Free kick will go to McCaskill. So he's now an opportunity to put the Giants deep into attack. He's got a player wide out the other side of the ground. Goes in that direction. It's Buckle, I think. No, it's not. Might be Miller out there. He can't take the mark. He works hard to go back after it. He's now got some support out there, and that was Buckle this time, and he takes the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in.
Geez, they really had the opportunity to put it deep in their attack and give themselves a scoring opportunity there, but they not only buggered it up, it was really good pressure from the Winchelsea boy who saw what was happening and got to the contest.
Richmond and Herman now. Herman tries to go out the back door. It might work out here. Brown, it was a good tackle though. I thought Geelong West player, it was Blackton-Noda in that time.
That's a good decision. No prior opportunity there.
The Pies have been alright today. They've been pretty consistent. As the ball goes up again. Herman, good tap. It might have slipped high, and it has. If not, it could have been a dump tackle. So this is an opportunity for Geelong West here. They're just going to take their time, not in any real rush. Start milking some time off the clock. He's going to go long now. He sees an option. Over the top, it was Blair. He couldn't quite take the ball. Well roved now by Winchelsea. They got to try and work this ball out. Oh, tackle. This could be holding the ball. It's a great tackle. Did he sling him around? The umpire said no prior opportunity. I thought he might have had an opportunity to get rid of the ball, but
it must have been the other umpire, because that's happened a couple of times and they've paid it every time. So just a little bit different interpretation.
50 metres out from Geelong West goal. Tapped down on that occasion, was pulling. Tackled straight away as he gathered the ball. Oh, it's unlucky because...
Tackle both players.
I tell you what, Sonnegold was about to run away with it. Big West crowd here. Want to cheer their team home. They've currently got a 16-point margin as it's thrown on the boot towards the edge of the square. Getting back, nearly a fumble mark, but it's a good mark in defence. Winchelsea defender.
Captain.
Huff.
Goes short. Finds Parrish. Don't have to take too many risks yet. Still a lot of time on the clock. Just going to slowly move it. That's a good kick into space to Sani. Sani wants to go out wide now. It's a well-directed kick as well. Just going to think their way through this. I think this is Primer. Doesn't have much up the field. Geelong West have dropped a few players back. Richmond, one of the ones in the hole, so get rid of him. And that's a good low kick.
And a good lead.
That's what you have to do. Coverdale comes wide now to Brown. Brown gathers. Did he play on?
He's trying to get a 50, but the umpire's too smart.
He didn't get back off his mark, so trying to milk the 50. And you tell you what, he probably should have just got it on with it originally, because now Geelong West is set up behind the ball. Hands it off. Right on Primer again. Now goes the ball. That's Mank there. Goes Parrish. It's out of bounds on the full. It's
well
good
done,
decision.
son. That's a good bit of umpiring.
The young boundary umpire in front of us.
Good boy.
Geelong West out. Rockworth. Haven't called his name too many times today. He's just going to... Bit of a hospital ball up and under. Parrish is under it. That was a good mark over the top by Brown. Making up for his slow ball movement not too long ago.
Sorry to harp, but he's still taking them in the wrong spot.
Goes into the middle. It looks all like Geelong West, although Mark was fumbled here. They got to make something out of this, Winchelsea. In and under was Craven Briggs. Now, was it holding the ball? I think it was.
One umpire said
Thorny.
play on, the other one gave it. I think the one that gave it was right.
They're off here, Geelong West. They're going to switch on the outer side of the ground. It hasn't been used too often today. That was quick hands down by Buckwell. Now on the outer side, they can run, bounce, take 2 or 3, go back inside to Richmond. Back to the player who originally got in the ball. Back to Buckwell. He started this all. Goes out wide. Frangos.
That's the old Gus Frat.
Right. Standing like all Blues, standing back in that hole. Big fist over the top by Gemmell. Contest on the ball might go out of bounds. It does. So 9-6-60 to 6-8-44. 7 minutes gone in this last quarter.
They're just not doing enough to get on the scoreboard, Winch.
Brought to you by Morris Finance.
Ball now from the ruck contest goes front. Cale picks the ball up. He's tackled. Again, no prior opportunity there with the numbers around the ball. So a good decision by the umpire. Another throw up will take place. Half forward line this time. Ball. Parrish doing the ruck work. Tapped out the back. I think that's pulling. Can't see he's trying to get out of the contest. The player was tackled, brought to ground. And again, there's a lot of numbers around the contest, so neither side prepared to give an inch here. So we'll have it back with the umpire for a third go. This time they need to clear the ball. Ball comes out. Again, player is tackled and umpire, without hesitation, is back in again and we'll start it.
I think Winchelsea should give an inch because then they hopefully take a mile
Yeah.
and get a couple of scores. Otherwise, the game's over.
So it's sitting in that half forward line. Sawney
Oh, that's
got
gonna be
through the
deliberate.
contest. Surely not.
That's going to be
Surely
deliberate.
not.
Oh, Smithy,
But he's trying to feed the ball around the boundary line, isn't he?
I hate deliberates.
Yep.
But that is the way they're playing it now, dead set deliberate. He just threw the boot at the ball and it went straight out of bounds.
Yep.
And I think the umpire had no choice.
Craven Briggs goes long into their forward line. Mark not taken. Ball gets through the contest. Parrish set himself up nicely behind the ball. Now he looks to deliver out wide. Goes and looking for his teammate. Mark is not taken out there. Frangos took the ball. He was tackled, brought to ground. Umpire said, let's throw it in. So we're just attacking side of centre wing. Geelong West end of the ground. They've got to find some spark either both sides. A goal from West would just about put the sealer on, I would think, here, even though we've still got plenty of time left. Neither side look like they might have the run left there. Frangos, he's in a ball tussle there with Grubberdale, and the umpire said it's not coming out, so we'll take it back.
Listen to the West locals, they're getting right into it here.
They are.
Right in front of where they're sitting too, so the handball's quick. Put his team under a little bit of pressure. Tackle again, Clyde.
Got to
And
be careful slinging them around like that. The umpire will pay that free kick.
I think the Blues are on the board for 2025
yes,
over in Gather Round.
if they couldn't win that one, Grab, they were in a fair bit of trouble, I
away.
reckon.
Yeah.
Herman, yes, was good work there. So Herman stood his ground and got the ball. So he's looking outside, goes to Sawney, runs and carries, wants to put the boot on the ball. His teammates weren't
They
moving.
slung him afterwards. Which is actually a down the ground free kick. It's not his. It should be down the ground.
Well, it didn't do much further, Grab, so we
No,
won't
it
worry
doesn't
about this
matter.
time. You're
Doesn't
right.
matter.
You are right, though. So Trav Sawney now, he delivers the ball into their forward line, coming across. McCaskill puts his hand in there, just enough to take the ball away from Parrish, and we'll have another throw in this time forward. 50 for the Winchelsea Blues.
West are doing pretty well here. Just don't reckon Grub, just maintaining the pace of the game here. They're happy just to play this style of game and just run some time off the clock.
Yep.
So the ball comes back in. The umpire's seen a free kick. He's been seeing quite a few of them recently. He's picked one out. It's going to go the way of the big ruckman. Oh no, he's going to handball off now. It's Primark goes long and deep. 1-on-3. Parrish had to beat them all, and the ball is taken out of bounds 10 metres out from Winchelsea's goal. So it would have been good on the end of that kick, Cameron Primo, because he's been pretty good down there, especially
Don't
in the
worry
last
about
quarter.
Cameron Prim. I know he should have been on the end of it.
Gets down, Irish, handball up. Oh, snap out of
Missed it.
mid-air and just misses Sonny.
First score of the last quarter.
Yeah, he might be getting on a bit, Tav, but by geez, he still can be a danger, can't
Oh,
he?
yeah. Yep.
9-6-60 to 6-9-45. 11 minutes gone in the fourth quarter, thanks to Morris Finance.
Ball gone well over the fence now, just waiting for the ball to come back. Buckle gets it back now. Frangos kicking in once again.
You know we're going to give a vote today? Bloody
Little umpire.
mushy.
Oh, mushy.
Actually, whoever's in the box with mushy, what I be putting up with the poor buggers?
Yeah, no, ball out wide and the mark is taken out there by Croft. He looks to deliver the ball just a little bit longer now. Goes back towards centre wing. Pullen's up and didn't take the mark into the hands of Miller. Goes outside. Kicked further afield. Sondergeld. And a player reading the ball nicely there. He's got plenty of time. That's Blair. Got round one. Put a bit of pressure on himself. Was able to free one arm. Get the ball away. Went towards Frats. He couldn't take it cleanly. Picked up by Cale. He goes back towards centre wing. A little bit too much on it. Frangos out the back. He's taking his opposition player in a tackle. Wrapped him up pretty nicely there and held things up, so the ball will go back to the umpire.
His disposal hasn't been great, Malin Cale, today.
12 minutes gone last quarter. We've scored one solitary point, so the ball has been in play, but no player or team can get a bit of a run on here. Sampy's tackled, no prior opportunity there, and again, umpire. They've had a fair bit to do in this last quarter.
Well, I know the way West are playing and why, but it's turned into a poor last quarter, hasn't it?
It has, yep. You would have liked to see them just break it apart, but it's not going to happen. The player taking the back there was Parrish, and he's going to get things moving pretty quickly, you would think. Goes short out wide, went looking for his brother, finds him. Finn. Not too many options moving for him. Forward of the ball. He's got some wide around back behind, but he wants to go forward with this ball. He comes out wide, player out by himself. Mark will be taken out here, and it's going to be Marnicky who's got the ball. So he's going to look to deliver towards Sawney going towards the pocket, but unfortunately when it hits the bike track, you're out of bounds in the full sun. So need to put it to where it's dangerous, and that's not dangerous out there. Free kick will go to Geelong West. Medwell, he's going to be the recipient. So again from the back pocket, he's going to start things off. I don't think he'd take the risk and go across the face of goal here. It goes down the boundary line and long. That's the best option, but the only one that's going to take this mark is going to be Parrish. Finn Parrish out the back. He's looking some options, wants to go quickly, but there's not much movement there to go to. Again, he goes back into their forward line. Huff, he's moved forward, and he couldn't take the mark. Ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in.
And hurt himself too.
A bit of cramp, I think. The old cramp's starting to bite a few players now. So as we tick towards 14 minutes final quarter, it's 9-6-60 Geelong West, 6-9-45 to the Winchelsea side.
Just got to stay calm and composed here, Winchelsea. It's going to be the polish at the end. It's actually slipped high. I think it has, but the umpire was blindsided. Brown a little bit unlucky in that occasion. 45 metres out from Winchelsea's goal. 15 points to margin, 14 minutes gone in this last quarter. Need a goal desperately. Here goes Parrish. Handball. Oh, wasn't his best effort. Running after the ball was Blackney Noda. Couldn't quite grab the ball. There's a few players down. Parrish, another one with cramp. Starting to bite a few players now. 50 metres out from Winchelsea's goal. Who's going to be one to stand up here? Herman in the ruck. He's been good all day. The Parrish low burner might skip over the top. I think it's been touched. It's going to be all up to Croft here. Oh, good kick as he goes out wide. And it's a good mark right in front of us. Sarah Unsworth. So stay composed here. Take the safe option down the line. Parrish is there, but it also gets fisted over the line. So 9-6-60 to 6-9-45. 15 minutes gone in the last quarter thanks to Morris Finance. This young boundary umpire has done a great job today.
Herman and Pullen do the ruck work, pulling back to the front of the contest. Little quick hands is good. End of the hands now. Sondergeld goes forward into their half-forward line. Score from behind. Finn Parrish is back and hasn't stopped working back there. Into the hands of Budavalis. Kicks wrong. Into their forward line. James in front. Doesn't take the mark. Comes back. Frangos is there. Taps it further afield to Mitchell. Mitchell got the handball battling. And they're away once again. So Geelong West through the work of Medville. Kick backs and it goes straight back into the hands of Parrish. So he's knocked up getting kicks this afternoon. Goes across the ground. That was a great kick. He's got his teammate out there and Primer. He went over the top. We'll find Cursup Cole. And I can guarantee once he gets on his bike, he will move. But he's just been held up now, so they've done that nicely. Little chip up over the top. Was slow through the air, but the mark wasn't taken out there. Sondergeld once again picks the ball up. Eludes one. A little bit of time and space now. Goes long into their forward line. Blair, front position. Mark not taken. Where's the front and square? That ball's kicked back in towards their forward 50. Oh, dangerous. Jumped on the ball there. And it's going to be a throw up. Now someone's back behind the field of play. Yep, no, it's a cramp again. A lot of boys have been bitten here. Haven't seen Alex Gubbins late in the game. Grubb, is he still there or was that him on the ground now? holding his leg. I'm not too sure who it is, but the ball's thrown up quickly by the umpire. Again, taken out of the contest. Richmond goes back. Sondergaard has got a lot of ball this quarter. That was nicely trapped. Good work. Ball kicked back towards the top of the goal square. Players missed the ball. The numbers are definitely with Winchelsea here, and it's been held up. So the two Geelong West forwards there have done very nicely. It will create an opportunity for themselves.
Belmont 72, Bell Post 42, Bannockburn 102, Corio 82, North Geelong 63, Inverleigh 60, look out.
The ball thrown up, and again Parrish taps the ball back towards the boundary line. It will run over. We'll have another throw in. Keep going, Grub.
Anarchy 56, Trail Thompson 65, that's close. And East Geelong 61, a leading Werribee Central's 57.
Oof.
Oh.
Plenty of games up for grabs there. Ball thrown out of that ruck contest again. Back towards, picked up there was Carey, got the handball away. Sondergaard got himself involved in this in the last quarter. They worked the ball out of the contest. Umpire said that was incorrect disposal. Free kick going Winchelsea's way. So Cassidy Parrish now with the ball. Kick was good in towards Kersop Cole. He's off and running. Has a first bounce. Looks behind him. Kick the ball long. That's the best way. That should be down the field. Absolutely. And it will go back towards Huff. So Huff now will be the recipient of that free kick. I don't know why they keep going at him back there, because they've already got the free kick. Won't win it back. Well, they just turn things over. So get the ball down, then worry about it.
He's got the distance in him?
No, not at this stage of the game. I think Sav Sawney was going to try and sneak in to get a bit more ground.
Well, he hasn't got the distance in him from there either.
But if he gets some runs, he will. But players running into his space now. He's still by himself. He decides to go low, flat. Ball gets out the back. Will run through the contest. And again, over the boundary line, have another throw in, which will take place. I tell you, this is exactly what AFL will do. Kick to that spot.
Yeah.
It drives me bloody bananas.
It drives me mad too.
Put it to the top of the square. At least it's dangerous.
Yeah.
If you make a spoil, you've got some players running there.
Yeah.
Especially at our level.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Unless you're
going
an
nowhere.
real kick and you can hit someone on the chest.
Yeah, that's going nowhere, that one.
As we're back in now. Herman goes down, thrown on the boot there.
Not 15.
Coming out. Umpire says play on. Players scrapping for the ball. Zampi's there. Manx also there, but Geelong West, Manx didn't really put his head over the ball, and they lose it back. Here goes Parrish from 50. Got pushed as he kicked it, so put him off the kick. Back out now. Lucky over the head. We've had 4 or 5 clangers in a row here. Handle that. Who can be composed? They're going to find some space out here. Running. Oh, it was a good mark taken over the outer side. They're going to go inside 50 here. Take the mark over the top. I think it's Carey. Coming back the other way. Good fist. They're going to keep the ball in, and then he takes it. How's the umpire going to see it? Oh, the ball stays in. Kersop Cole, he's hit after he takes the mark. And then he's off. Kersop Cole takes one bounce. Dashing, put it on the head. Over the top now. Oh, great mark. Coming back the other way.
Border Barlas, that was sensational.
Yeah,
never made contact.
Yeah, and that was the end of the game. It still might be, but that was the end of the game if he marks that.
Coming now. The wing. Got to come across Brown. He made him earn it, which just did that. Great mark in the end by Miller. Miller's happy to take his time here. There is 20 minutes gone in this last quarter. 15 points the difference. He goes long to the edge of the 50. Coming back to the big ruckman. Herman goes through his hands. Oh, it's going to be a high tackle. It is. So they're going to be able to take 30 seconds off the clock and possibly have a shot at goal here.
Jeez,
You're going to have a shot at goal. See if you can kick it.
If ever you want your ruckman to take a mark, it was then. And he really should have taken it. He really should have. He's battled his guts out all day, but I think he should have taken that one.
It's going to be Alex Blair. He's got hands like sandpaper today.
Whether he kicks it or not, he takes his 30 seconds, and there's already gone 22 minutes nearly. So, you know.
Right on his lip, and I'd say 50 metres out. End of the game. To put them. It's a good-looking kick right to the tip of the goal line. It stays in now. Gather the ball. Kick back towards goal as he kicked it.
I'll tell you what.
Daniel Pollard has snapped on his left foot. Drifted through. And I'll tell you what, Grub, that could be, is it the Corio goal of the day?
Well, it is a big contender, and I'll tell you what, it gets a bit more onus because I think it's put the cherry on top. I think it's got them the win. And look, and Winchelsea, they tried and tried and tried. Western played that footy where they're really trying to keep Winch out, and all of a sudden they get 2 goes in. A magnificent bit of defence by Watervale stopped one of them, but they just couldn't stop that one. And I think the fat lady's just about to start to sing.
Yep, she's definitely gargling now, Grub. As I said, that was taking a long time for the first goal of the last quarter, almost 22 minutes. Ball back in the middle, Pullen does the ruck work, taps it back. Again, in there, Parrish did some nice work, back to Sawney. Sawney now transferred, or didn't transfer play, got the handball away. Mark has been taken out there by Miller, so Miller can slow things down now. There's no rush for the Geelong West side now. The game well within their keeping, just a little bit of possession football. Run some time off, good kick going out wide. And at this stage of the game, that ground has been well there by Medwell. So again, got some options back of the ball if he wants to go back, and that's where he's going to go now. So they'll transfer play from one side to the other. Kick had to be good and was. Went to Rowath. Rowath goes further afield. Croft nearly looked like he lost it in the sun and was going to stumble. Ball. They continue to run, so they've transferred from one half back flank to the other. Let's hope the next kick's good, because this is where we usually turn the ball over. So he's got to go long, and he goes down the line. That's what he's done. Mark not required, or is required, and it's going to be taken out there. Justin Carey, good hands out in front. He plays on now. Quick into their forward line. Blair up in front. Mark not taken. Out the back. Cale runs onto it. Has some time across centre half back. Looks up. Back into the middle of the ground. Has a player by himself. Kick was good. Mark was also good. And Coverdale now. He can't muck around. They've got to keep running now. He's got Berg out wide. That's where he'll come to. And he's taken a mark outside and forward of centre wing. So Berg now. Options. Where's Caleb Brown when you need him? They've got Huff down there, but they need Caleb Brown. Ball goes quickly. Oh, by himself. Sampy all by himself. And he's got an opportunity now. I think the distance at this stage of the game might be just outside his target. He's going to play, go inboard by hand. Handball goes into Sawney. He won't have a shot. He will have a shot, but he is offline.
Make up your mind.
And through for... Oh, actually, I thought that was a minor score. But it's not. Clear running, he would have been able to nail that well and truly, but pressure again. Geelong West haven't given that up in this last quarter. As we trick towards 24 minutes, it is 10-6 Geelong West, 6-9 to the Winchelsea side.
I tell you what, Grub, the West deck up there is rocking.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
They're up and about as the ball comes to the 50 line. Winchelsea win the ball back. I think that's Primer. He's played a pretty good game today as he goes inside to Parrish. Good kick by Primer. It had to be pinpoint perfect, and it was on his chest. Indy Parrish, who has gone quiet a little bit in the last quarter.
Well, he hasn't got the 30 seconds.
Exactly right.
Right, he has not got it. He can't afford.
It's still a 40-metre kick. Not too much angle about it. To bring it back to a 17-point margin. Looks okay. It's just across the face. So it's going to be a behind and 10-6, 66 to 6-9, 46.
On that.
24 minutes gone on the Morris Finance scoreboard.
Frangos with the ball now, as he's done for most of the game. It's kicking in duties. This time he takes the bounce. A little bit of a chip out wide. Okay. And I reckon that must be Buckwell out there. Long sleeves, orange boots.
Same amount of shots here, you know.
Yep. They had their opportunities. Buckwell, he knows what to do. He's going to go long and he's going to go towards centre wing. Brown had his name on that as soon as it left his boot, I reckon. He's going to go quickly. And in short, goes towards Sawney, plays on, handballs back inside. Parrish, options outside, went towards Berg, but coming up. Houston, I think it was, he couldn't take the mark. And he will go back and win a free kick. So Houston now, again, don't know much about this player.
No, me either.
So I can't tell you whether he's got the distance into legs, but he needs to keep things moving.
I'll tell you if he can kick it a minute.
Decent
I will too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
Come from where, do you know?
Alexander Thompson.
Righto. Ball, kick, looks nice off the boot. And I tell you what, did that without any effort. That has gone straight through. So maybe a last chance gasp for the Winchelsea side. They moved to 7 goals, 10-6 to the Geelong West Giants. We've gone over 25 and a half minutes. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, that's the big thing, over 25 and a half minutes. I think it's a case of...
One goal each.
Hey, yeah, it's probably too little, too late. But now we know he can kick a football.
Yep.
So next time we do him, we'll know we can kick a football and you can say, he'll kick this and he'll miss it.
Brown now doing some ruck work.
He's been everywhere on the ground except where I think he should be.
There.
Got to throw the magnets around here at the end and back in the middle. Good tap out win there. It was by Pullen as the ball gets spurted out. Out wide now. James involved. Gets out. Oh, no turnover. Richmond was there as well. Put his head over it. Could be a high contact 2 or 3 times. It should be, and it is. So just got to take his time here. Geelong West. 26 minutes gone. They don't have to rush anything here. Gives a handball off to Buckwell from 55. Gets to the tip of the goal square, and it's going to be out of bounds. So we're going to have a throw in 10 metres out from Geelong West 50, and it's the end of the ground they wanted in.
There's always a competition in the West forward line. But unfortunately today, there hasn't always been a competition in the Winch forward line.
Yeah. Comes in now. One more goal here from West would definitely be the nail in the coffin. It's going to be a pretty hard task for Winchelsea anyway. They try and exit here. 2 players went the fist. There might have been a push in the back. There was. So it's going to be Winchelsea's ball.
Thompson by a point. North Geelong by 12. Bannockburn by 25. Belmont Lions quite easily.
Reuben James gives the handball to Kirsten Cole. We know he loves to run. Goes long. Looks like they're all set up. Was a good hand in the end. Parrish kicked a right foot banana, and it didn't quite come off the boot the way he wanted to. It's gone out of bounds. So 10-6-66 to 7-10-52. 27 minutes and a half gone on the Morris Finance scoreboard.
Another AFL thing. These stupid check sides. Too hard for our blokes to do. Just get it, run and kick.
Yeah, drop punt. I agree with you, Grubby. So go out wide. Oh, good mark from the act there. It might have been man in front, so they've called play on. Winchelsea seemed to have the numbers here. It was a good tackle. He dropped the ball. Could have been holding the ball or holding the man. Nagel got it out. France is Richmond. He's in a foot race here if he can get there. And the siren goes for the GDFL match of the day between Geelong West and Winchelsea. Geelong West come out victors 10-6-66 to Winchelsea 7-10-52. 28 minutes gone in that last quarter. What do you think, Rob?
Well, we might go to a break first.
Yeah, I'll just give some goal kickers. Goal kickers for the afternoon. Justin Carey with 3, Blair with 2, 1 each to Stone, Mitchell, Miller, Pollard and Craven Briggs. And for the Winchelsea side there, 7-2 to Indy Parish. Cameron Primer got 2, 1 each to Sampy, Houston and Cassidy Parish. We'll take a short break, come back, go through everything that's happened here this afternoon. Hopefully have some final scores from the round of grounds. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Welcome back. As we said, Geelong West were able to do enough in the last quarter to record their first win of the afternoon, of the season. Run out winners 10-6, 66 to Winchelsea 7-10, 52. I'm just trying to get some scores up from around the other grounds if we can get them through. I'm not too sure whether they have finished at this stage, but the last one we had was East Geelong 62, 57 to Werribee. Out at the Footrod Flats, it was 71 to 73, Thompson and Anarchy. So Thompson with a 2-point margin. North Geelong only 9 points now ahead of Inverleigh, and again, not too sure what time that's at. Bannockburn at this stage are 23 points up on the Cryo side, and Belmont are comfortable at the moment, 86 to 48. So a lot of games still hanging in the balance, but again, we're not too sure whether final scores have come through from there.
Well, what I will say is we've finished reasonably early, so some of those games may well still be in progress.
Yep, so I suppose when you have, only probably 7-3... What's that? 7 goals kicked after half time, so there's not much time on there. It's a bit different to last week, Rob, when you run 31 and 33 and 35 minutes for the last three.
I'll tell you what, if there are any people listening that are at those grounds, just text me and we'll work it out from there.
Your thoughts on today's Graham Grubb?
Really, really impressed with the first 3 quarters, and then the last quarter was one of the worst quarters I've ever seen. But I'm not having a go at anybody because that's the way West wanted it. They had their 16-point lead and they were holding on to it. I don't care how ugly you play, whatever you do, if you keep dragging it to once. Thompson won a grand final playing that type of football last year, and obviously West have had a look at that and said, we're going to win this, even if it looks ugly. They need 4 points, just like everybody else does. I just thought Winchelsea probably should have gone on the attack more in that last quarter, opened it up, Kersop Cole tried to, he had 2 or 3 big runs. Bailey Cale did a couple of times, but they didn't quite open it up enough. And had they have done that, hey, they might have got beat by 6 or 7 goals. But that's not the point. The point is they didn't open enough to give themselves a chance to win it. And they kicked their first goal of the last quarter, about the 20-something minute mark, 25-minute mark or something like that, which is obviously far too late. I know I'll say it again, and Winch coach will probably come and punch me in the nose. And Callum Brown was probably in my best 3 players. But they just didn't have someone down there to kick the goal. You know, the big fella gone, Lee Ellis gone. Yeah, they just needed someone down there. Parrish battled away down there, but Callum Brown's a class operator. And even though he was playing well midfield, he could have been the bloke that turned the tide. But it wasn't to be. I'm probably taking away a little bit the way West played. They obviously played well against Thompson last week, and they played well here again today. They're a side that goes in hard at the ball. They sort of don't step back. If they miss it, they miss it. Bad luck. But they didn't miss it too often today. And they just charged forward and forward and forward. For a while, it was a battle of the back lines. But then when it opened up, West just had enough. When they kick it up there, they've got Carey and they've got Blair. And they had the 2 big options down there. And I think they probably kicked a couple each. But, look, in the end, West thoroughly deserved the win. The crowd went right off here. As I said before, I'm just so happy to see a big crowd here at West Oval for West in the GDFL, which we don't normally see. And that tells me that their committee, the workers, the people around the place are working so hard to make this club a really, really good football club. And that started with a win today.
Yeah, I think they did things pretty nicely. As I said, their competitive work around the contest was one of the things that really stood out to me today. They weren't prepared. If they couldn't win the ball, they didn't want it to come out, so they had numbers there to help them out. Your first look at it this afternoon, mate. What did you think, Arch?
I reckon Grubb summed that up pretty well.
Don't say that, he'll get a big head.
Of course he wouldn't do it otherwise.
No, I think the third quarter was where the game was really broken open. It just showed that West just took their chances. Earlier on in the game, West were dominating that first quarter, and they just couldn't put it on the scoreboard. And as Grubb mentioned multiple times, he said that they keep this pressure up, they're eventually going to break open. They got to a 3 or 4 goal lead, and then they just held it the rest of the game. They just went shut down the last quarter. Yeah, it's boring footy. It wasn't what we wanted to see. It wasn't open, free-flowing play, but they got the 4 points in the end. And I'm pretty sure that's all the coach cares about. So. Good job from West. As Grubb said as well, it was great to see all the fans here at West in their new pavilion. Absolutely rocking and rolling. And one thing that stood out for me is I feel like you look at Geelong West team overall and you don't look at anyone who had an amazing game. Where I feel like you look at Winchelsea and you see a few individual games, but maybe didn't play as well as a team as West did. which would be my one takeaway from the game.
No, that's it. As I said, I've got one other final score from around the grounds. Bellpost Hill 50 were defeated by the Belmont Lions 86, but all those games are still current at the moment. Looks like North Geelong have got away to a 22-point lead at the present time. Thompson are 9 points up on Anarchy, but again, we can't tell you how much time to go. And 3 points at East Geelong at 63-60 Werribee at this stage. And I think there was one other game I missed. Bannockburn, I said 20 points up. I must have mentioned them. Yeah, so again, some good tight games still in progress. But I suppose now it's vote time, boys. You're going to let us off, Grub, or not?
No, I'm not giving any.
You're not giving votes today?
No.
Well, you're going to have to give one because you've got the vouchers, haven't you?
Yeah.
Who are you giving your votes to, mate?
3 votes.
Yep.
Alex Blair from Geelong West. Thought he was really good.
Worse than Spider.
I thought he was really good in the contest, and he was as mentioned before, I think he was that was the difference between West and Winchelsea, because they didn't have the big man down the line they could go to. They went to Parrish quite a lot. They went to Primmo and they threw him up forward, but they didn't have the big man like Blair and Carey, and I think that was the difference. And Blair played a pretty good game, would have kicked a couple of goals and would have had 5, 6, 7, 8 marks. So really good game from him.
That's 3 votes.
Yeah,
Who'd you give 2 votes?
Caleb Brown. From Winchelsea. I thought he was probably their best player around the ground, even though he always wasn't clean with his disposal. I thought in and under, and he's a hard gut runner. So he's a ready-made footballer, Brown. And my 1 vote went to Finlay Cole for his run all day on the wing. I thought in the last quarter they could have tried to use him a little bit more, maybe put him out on his own on the far side, try to get him the ball and try and change the game. But no, I thought he played a really good game as well.
You want to go next, Grub, or do you want me to do it?
You can do it. Before that, Thompson have beaten Anarchy.
Oh, have they?
Yep.
That was Mitch on the phone, was it?
Yep.
Okay, so that's
Certainly
obviously
was.
come through final now. So that's another game we've got out of the road there. I've given 1 vote to Caleb Brown. As I said, I would have loved to have seen him go forward at some stage, like Grubby said, most of the day. If a bloke like that, if you can put him down there, it's even just to give him 5 10 minutes just to see if he can change the course. They had enough of the ball down there, but just couldn't finish off or take a mark. I thought Finn Parrish, again, provides plenty. I used to love him coming off the half-back line, but today he spent more time through the middle of the ground, got a number of possessions, and blokes like him, they don't waste the ball when they get it. And my 3 votes went to Oscar Miller for Geelong West. Played a good game all day, was in there right from the very start and provided a little bit of run from outside and along the wings. So I gave my 3 votes to Oscar Miller.
Gee, I tell you what, I was so close. Well, I don't know about the other 2, but I didn't really give. It doesn't matter whether I give 2s and 3 votes, I think. But I think I get the parishes mixed up, so it's not fair giving votes. But Indy was very, very good for 1. Gee, I'm going to give Michael Bordavalis 2 because I love that bloke. And it's either him or Mitchell, the 2 of my favourite players, or Gubbo. But I'm going to give the 3 to Oscar Miller. I thought he was terrific.
There you go. So Oscar Miller will be the recipient of the... which one is it? Oh, the Morey's Hotel, isn't it? Hotham Hotel Player of the Day. So we're going to, again, go and see if we can get some final scores from around the ground. So we said Thompson have defeated Anarchy. Inverleigh and that look like they're still going, but they have a comfortable margin. Bannockburn are comfortable at this stage, so we're assuming that they will go on and record victories. East Geelong, and we haven't heard from East Geelong or wherever.
No, the scores have been the same, 3 or 4 points in East favour.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've had a little update. That was 63-60, but that hasn't changed for some time. So Friday or this week, obviously, we've got the weekend off, Easter. Everyone obviously will be looking to get them some time off and travel away. So let's make sure we all stay safe while we're away. Look after yourselves and obviously the people around you and enjoy the time off. Because when we come back, we've got a big weekend of football the following week. On the Friday, we've got the Anzac Day clash out at Bannockburn this year, taking on Inverleigh. That should be a really good game. And then Saturday, Grub, if we decided where we're going to go Saturday, we've got a choice of, I think, Thompson at home against Belmont Lions for the replay of the grand final, or we've got East Geelong and North Geelong.
Yeah, look, and I think that's at North.
Yep, I'm not 100% sure.
I would love to see North Geelong and East Geelong because I like both sides play a good brand of football. East, they've got their season off pretty well, although we don't quite know, but they've had a pretty good game today, win, lose or draw. North have won again, and I really would, but we can't do justice to the fact that Thompson, not only have Thompson going to unfurl their premiership flag, but they're going to unfurl it in front of the side that they defeated in the grand final. So I think what Neville and that would like us to do is do that. So my guess is we'll be going out to Thompson.
Righto. So at this stage, as I said, following Friday, we'll take on at Bannockburn with the Anzac Day clash, and then Saturday we'll follow up with the Thompson-Belmont Lions clash. Arch, thanks for your time in here this afternoon. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That's all right. It all gets better as we go along. And obviously the Elvis hour must be up and ready to run.
We're not going yet, so turn that off, Steely. We're not going yet.
We're not far away from it, but Grub, as I said, another interesting round of football and another game of close results. So we can only hope that continues for the rest of the season.
Well, I enjoyed myself today. It's not always you enjoy yourself coming to West. It's usually windy and wet. And, but today I really enjoyed myself. And, of course, one of the reasons we do enjoy ourselves is because this league can't run without sponsors. You just can't do it. And the group of sponsors we got are just fantastic, fantastic sponsors. Buckley's, of course, in the first quarter. Then Elders Insurance. You can't beat them. P&R Foods. You got the ex-Geelong champion in Busey. You know, in all them games, he was in a fight every week, Busey. He was always in them, but then he comes in the commentary box and says, you shouldn't fight. Well, good on you, Busey. You're doing a great job. And, of course, Morris Finance. If you need a quid, they've got plenty of money.
They've helped me out.
Oh, go and see... Martin Carter, I tell you, Martin Carter broke his foot the other week.
Oh.
Yeah, he dropped his wallet on it. So they got plenty of money to give out if you want to go and get it. Obviously, the mark of the day, Routley's the big men flyer for the Routley's pie. The Play of the Day victory trophies. The Hotham Hotel BOG we've mentioned. The Yards Hotel if you're in the West, you can't beat that.
Not far to travel from here.
Well, there you go. Right across the road. Hopefully, we could have got them earlier and would have sent us over a couple of coldies for giving them a big plug. Victory trophies, unbelievable for us. Kempy Engineering, read the play. And I know that's very, very important. And thanks to the boys from Kempy Engineering to put that up in front of us. Corio Bay Health, the goal of the day today. And if you're a bit sore, go and see them. They'll fix you up. Athlete's Foot. And, of course, Promoted Trophies. Thank you very much. We need you. And thank you for what you give.
Yes, again, thanking to all those sponsors who make this day possible for all of us here this afternoon and for the rest of the season. So to everybody out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And hopefully in a fortnight's time, we'll have you all back here listening to a couple of great games coming up on the following weekend. So from now, it's goodbye from us. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Start the music, Steelo.
Hey! About bloody time.